Good morning, guys, and welcome back to TTSMC Trader. How are you all? Hope everyone is doing good. If you can hear me and everything is good, let me know before we go furthermore. And also be very careful if you're trading your real account. This is the last week of August, usually the hardest week in a year. But before going furthermore, please let me know at first if you guys can hear me. Everything is good. And please don't forget to push the like button. Uh, Waka, Wakas. Okay, Wakas. I'll call you Wakas. Good morning, brother. Sharada, hello, brother. How are you? Just don't forget to push the like button. Whoever is watching, just push the like button. Okay, that's all I'm asking for. So 70 people watching, 33 likes. Make it 20 likes. 70 people watching, 30 likes. Still waiting to see if you guys can hear me. I think everything is good. Yeah, I think everything is good. Still, let's confirm at first if you guys can hear me. Okay, can hear, bro. Okay, that's cool. Hey, don't you? Good morning, brother. Mm, I mean, long time I really don't have any update, don't you? Did you get any other payout? Please let me know that. As you guys can hear me, I think I should go to the price action from the beginning. Why this is the hard week and like all other things. I think we should go for that. Daniel, good morning, brother. Thanks for being over here, man. Please don't forget to push the like button. So this is the calendar. I love to use the Forex Factory, uh, and I have just the medium impact news and red impact news on my calendar. As you can see, like every day I have some kind of news, and more importantly we have like Jackson Hole symposium week. So I don't know you guys really aware about this news or not, Jackson Hole symposium. So according to ICT, if this is the week where you have the Jackson Hole symposium, the only trading day is Monday. So if you really would love to trade the Hole symposium week, then you have to trade only the Monday. I mean, this is according to ICT. However, this is really a disgusting price action. It presents the disgusting price action actually, most of the time consolidation. And day one is Thursday, day two is Friday, and day third is Saturday. So these 3 days actually Jackson Hole Symposium. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we don't have that. I mean, that what to say? I mean the uh, effect of this news, but still, like to be honest, last week of August is the hardest week of the year. So if you try, maybe you'll get some beautiful trade, but I think you should target a specific amount of money by the week. For example, uh, you are using a 50K account, your target is like maybe $1,000. So this week I'll just make $1,000 and I'll try to make it by Monday or Tuesday by these 2 days. If I can make it, good. If I don't make it, I'll just let the rest of the week go. I'm not going to take any trade in this week. I'm just gonna let all the week go, and then from the next week I'll start trading again. Okay, so that is my plan. I hope nobody's going to uh, complain about that, because this is my choice. I don't want to trade this week. That is the I know, like, this is the hardest week. I mean, this should be the week weird week ever. So I would love to let this week go. But yeah, of course you guys can try and you can trade. We'll just read the price action and we'll see. Sometimes taking break is good. I think this is the week we should take the break. Now, if you compare with other YouTubers, of course they're not going to tell this to you and they're going to just keep trading. This is their job. I would love to follow my own ethics. Okay, so I don't want to trade this week. This is the only week I really don't want to trade out of the whole 365 days. So we have Treasury Sec decent speak around 2 p.m. today. Tomorrow 10 a.m. CV consumer confidence. Really don't have any impact of this news, but I really don't know what is this news. I really don't have any idea, or maybe I forgot. I don't know. I was just thinking, what is this news? Like Treasury Sec decent speak, but I didn't recall my memory. I really don't know what is this news. So CV consumer, it doesn't have any impact. So for example, tomorrow I'm interested to go for a trade before 10 a.m. There is a setup. Of course, I can go for it. And I would love to look for this news to send the market according to my direction. Then Wednesday we have uh, GDP, I mean core PCI. This is CPI, okay? Not exactly like CPI. I don't know how to say that, but it's a micro one, okay? Not the big CPI. So I really don't know how to call it, but this is the micro CPI, not the biggest. I mean the dinosaur type CPI. Okay, so this is also the PCI price index on Wednesday around 8:30. We have GDP and premier GDP price index as well. Like they are not that important, but like micro CPI is also weird to trade. Thursday again, Jackson Hole Symposium. Fed chairman is going to speak on Friday around 10 a.m. and whole day is the Jackson Hole Symposium, and then Saturday is the weekend. So I prefer not to trade this week, but yeah, it's up to you guys. This is all about the calendar. I would love to come here to the price action, and this is that weekly chart. The C of this weekly bullish fair cap has been traded, and after trading this C, does it really would love to go higher because I have a lot of buy side liquidity? Does it want to keep falling? $1 million question. I think it will, even if it would love to fall, it will give me some kind of reaction. Okay, so market will go a bit higher, at least a bit higher, and then we'll see if it can keep falling. But from the weekly chart, all I am caring about the CE of this gap that has already been traded. From the daily chart, I have this bearish gap. As I told you from the weekly chart, I really don't know it will keep falling or not. But before falling, even if it would love to fall, I need some kind of reaction from the CE, and that's gonna send the market toward this gap over here. I would love to see this market to come at least to this gap. So after coming to this gap, then I really don't have any plan. As long as this market is not going to decide where it really would love to go, I don't have any plan. Okay, my brother is saying that if I get the likes, then we will be able to make a giveaway. If you guys just keep pushing the like button and it's 100 likes, I will be able to make a giveaway as well. Okay, so please make sure all of you have pushed the like button. 36 people are watching, 15 likes. Make it 100 likes, okay? All of you. Please take a one moment and just push the like button before the market open. Like 37 people are watching, 37 likes. It will be awesome. It doesn't cost anything, okay? Who else is over here? Tamimi. Good morning, brother. Kindly take a moment to smash that like button and hit subscribe. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah, if I get 100 likes, I'm just going to make the giveaway today as well. RP, hello brother, how are you? Thanks for the boom penguin boom. Either push the like button or you can just simply go to watch other people live streaming because I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm just interested to get your likes for our channel to improve. That's why I'm asking for that. So please push the like button because next time when I'll be there and if I don't see that the likes is not near to the concurrent viewer, then I will not frame any other trade. I mean, no trade will I'll frame. I'll just keep waiting for the likes. Up to you, brother. Either you can wait or you can just switch to other people to watch. So that what I was saying that like after trading this weekly bullish gap 50%, I really would love to see this market to come here. Even if it bearish, I don't care. But first it has to come over here because I have the market structure shift from the daily chart. This swing low, which is an intermediate term low, has been shifted over here. So I want to see this market to go to the daily bearish gap. And then if it would love to fall, I'll let him fall. Otherwise, maybe it will close above this gap and it will target this buy side liquidity. We'll see that later as well. Whatever it is going to happen, I really would love to see this market to come here to this daily bullish bearish gap at first. After that, rest of all, okay, we'll think about the next price action later. I'm not interested to see any sort of fall. If it keep falling, I think I'll just let this go without touching the market. So either it will go higher or there will be no trade at all. From the 4-hour chart, to be honest, market has cleared almost 99% liquidity and trade the C of that weekly bullish gap. Trade this, close this for our bullish cap 100%. I have the next bullish cap, which is here around that area. I really don't want to see this market to come here at first. I really would love to see the C to be respected and send the market higher for some sort of liquidity or to trade some sort of buy side imbalance, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So after doing that, maybe I'll look for the sell. Maybe I'm not sure about that, by the way. So from the hourly chart, same buy side liquidity here. I have this beautiful buy side liquidity, relatively equal highs, which I'm going to mark here. This is the buy side liquidity here, and I have this buy side liquidity around that area. So these two buy side liquidity is my first interest to see. Can the market go and take those buy side liquidity? If I see on my left hand side around that area, this is that C around that area. So this market just tap to this last gap from the hourly chart. It's not the last gap actually. The last gap is over here. This is the real last gap. But to that specific leg from here to here, this could be the last gap, and market actually trade that gap. And after trading this, can it keep going higher? and target those buy side liquidity. That is my first interest to see. Otherwise, if it keep falling, I'm just not interested to touch this market. So from the 15-minute chart, same thing I would love to see. Did it leave any sell side liquidity? And I can clearly see that no sell side liquidity has been left over here. Not even a single sell side liquidity is left over here. But I have a huge buy side liquidity around that area. Buy side liquidity here. If you see over here, that is also a buy side liquidity. So around that area, this is also a buy side liquidity. Don't worry, because when I'll be in 1 minute chart, this box will not be there. But so far, I can see that this market came here to the CE of the weekly bullish gap and rejecting from there. And so far, I have got the market structure shift around that area. This is the bullish gap that is trading market right now. So after trading this, can it keep going higher and target these buy side liquidity relatively equal highs aligned with this last fair value gap? And then this buy side liquidity, which is too much clean around that area. Finally, that buy side liquidity. Okay. So if I mark it here to here, it's so clean. I'm just going to mark it from here because that is the most obvious swing low. So those buy side liquidity is actually my target for this week. I'm just not interested to go for the buy. Sorry, sell. No more sell is valid actually. But yeah, of course, at the beginning, market can fall. If it fall, I'll keep looking for the buying opportunity. I'll just keep looking for the buying opportunity. I'm not interested to take any sort of sell at all in this discounted area. Otherwise, this is gonna be a very difficult for me to trade. In the meantime, I really would love to see other market, what is happening in other markets. So would love to come to this here. This bullish gap from the YM has already been traded and market actually came until here. This is the this week candle. So far this market is showing some kind of bearishness. Still, it is respecting the bullish gap over here. As you know, like this is the first market, right? Comparing to NQ and ES, this is actually more faster. So when the market is falling, other market is just a bit drop. This can send the market so much lower. Okay, so something like that. It's a very fast market. The YM market is really so fast market. So yeah, still this bullish gap is holding the market. I really would love to see if it can keep going higher and go for the all-time high one more time. Even if it failed to go for that all-time high, maybe trade the quadrant level of this week and then maybe it will fall. We'll see that later. But here, after falling here, coming here, it would be awesome if it could tap to this new week opening gap. But actually, it didn't do that. Instead of that, it has traded this last gap after clearing the sell side, buy side, retracement. Would love to see how much did it fall from here to here. And if I go for the 6 on 8 level, this is the 6 on 8 level that is respecting. So for this market, can it keep going higher? That is my highest importance to see. Can it keep going higher? If it doesn't want to go higher, that's going to be difficult to trade, to be honest. From I'm just watching this Dow, but now these days, this Dow actually more preferable for me to trade rather than the NQ because it follows my order more than NQ did. Okay. However, I have this buy side liquidity here, which is very clean from the Dow. You can see here relatively equal highs. That is too clean over here. I have some buy side liquidity here as well, relatively equal highs. But more importantly, that buy side actually so much clean. So at the beginning, I think this market will react a bit from here, fall a bit, maybe the 50% of this delinquents, low to high 50%, and then maybe it will go for this buy side liquidity. Today, I'll just wait for this Dow as well to see if I can find any trade opportunity from the Dow. If I find that, I think I prefer to go for a trade with Dow as well because it's more easier to trade the Dow rather than the NQ now these days. I don't know why, but it's really so awesome. Otherwise, if it like there is nothing and there is something good in NQ, maybe we'll just wait for that. For ES, same thing, bullish gap that has been traded, but after trading this bullish gap, both other markets are showing more weakness. Okay, after clearing the all-time high, both other markets like ES and YM, both of them are showing more weakness. That is feels like market is going to fall. But I really don't think so. It's going to fall from here because it is reacting from zero point 0.5 standard deviation. I still believe it will come here, which is minus 1.5 standard deviation. After coming here, maybe the big fall will happen. Otherwise, if it really would love to fall from here, I have to I have to let the fall go, to be honest. But here, I'll really would love to see a consolidation week for ES. Other market will give me some run, but ES is going to be a consolidation week, so it will be in range bound, something like this, a range bound week, something like that way. It is going to close small body long week on on both side. I hope this is this is how the market is going to open the ES. The reason is ES is the middle sister. Okay, so Dow is the strongest. Like in any way, Dow is the strongest. If it is falling, Dow is the leader. If it is going higher, Dow is the leader. Like YM is the leader. NQ always support Dow. That means even though the NQ is not that much faster like Dow, but it actually give me a decent move. But ES is always the middle sister. Okay. So when you will see some good run in between YM and NQ, but ES always struggle to get the good run. Instead of that, it keep consolidating. So that's why I'm just interested to see this ES to be a consolidation week over here. I hope it will be that type of week. Otherwise, if that Jackson Hole Symposium gives some run, that is also acceptable. But otherwise, I really would love to see this market to be a consolidation week. So from here, it has already, like, how can I show you this? Like here, this low has taken over here long time ago. So already this low has taken over here. So fake SMT has already been cleared by NQ. The fake SMT has already been cleared. Can it start to go higher now? Or does it really would love to see this as a market structure shift and would love to keep falling by using this gap as a breakaway gap? Both of these things is possible. The reason this is the lowest, I mean, lowest probable week and the hardest week to trade, this is indecisive. Okay. And obviously, the, like this whole year is kind of indecisive year because of the Middle East conflict. So yeah, I'm keep saying this is hard to predict. I really don't have any clear sight. For example, when it came here and then this bullish gap has been created, I was more confident that this buy side liquidity is going to be taken. What happened? This specific candle has ruined everything. Even if it has been ruined everything, if it could respect any of this quadrant level and then would love to start to go higher, maybe that could be another beautiful expectation that market is going for this buy side liquidity. But when this low has been taken and gave me the market structure shift toward the sell side liquidity, and I still know that market didn't finish the job over here, didn't trade the equilibrium. This is like 50-50. Where the market really would love to go? Does it really would love to go here, or does it really love to go higher and take the all-time high? Because all other market has taken all the all-time high. When this low has been shifted, it is almost confirmed that market is coming for this volume imbalance, which is the real liquidity void. And also we have some sort of regular trading or opening gap that also need to be traded. But if I keep looking for the sell, that means that I'm going against the new week opening gap. I really don't want to go against this new week opening gap, which is over here, because no market has broken this new week opening gap yet. Okay, so like YMES, all of them are respecting this new week opening gap. So I really don't want to go against this new week opening gap. The maximum fall could be happen until the CE, which has already been done. I think it will go higher. Okay, to be honest, I think it will be go higher. Last week, I mean this week, and from next week, maybe the gate fall will happen. Okay, but yeah, to be honest, before the gate fall happen, if it could clear the all-time high, that would be awesome, and then I would get another confirmation that it is a new bubble. But actually, it didn't clear the all-time high or the relatively equal highs. This is much more suspicious to me. Why did it leave those buy sell liquidity around that area? Eventually, I'm interested to see a great fall, at least until to this zone around that area. But I really would love to see that fall to happen in between September to October, not before September to October. Uh, I think after September, it will be clear. That's like where the market is really would love to go. By anyhow, this week is the hardest week. So this is just a warning. It doesn't mean that you have to listen to me. You don't need to do that. You can do whatever you want to do. But this is just a warning. This is the last week of August, which is usually the hardest week. The whole month of August is difficult because like this is the year which is called, this is the month which is called the vacation month. Okay, most of the countries has the vacation, like school is off, college is off, institutional educational institution are off actually. So this time people actually take the break, the vacation, and that's why it's bit difficult to trade because no big funds are going to enter here. That's why it's like keep doing this type of consolidation, which is also called the time distortion, but from the daily chart. So that's why it's usually tough to trade the last week, the August month, more importantly, the last week. but still you are allowed to go for any kind of trade. If you find something good, please go for it. If you ask me, I'm only interested to look for this buy side liquidity. I'm not interested to look for anything else except this buy side liquidity at first, then this buy side liquidity, and finally for that buy side liquidity here around that area. So this three buy side liquidity is my highest interest, and I want to see this market to go higher from 1 minute chart. Yeah, I have the shallow run here. So around the 9:30, market can fall at first, take this shallow run, then start to go higher. I really don't appreciate that. Instead of that, if it can keep going higher, I think I'll go for a buying upward. I mean, I'll try to take a buy over here. So from the 1 minute chart, I'm going to mark some buy side liquidity here, which is from 1 minute chart. Like all of these swing highs, like if you mark this high over here, it's too clean, like very clean, tick by tick, this type of buy side liquidity. Okay, so this type of buy side liquidity, if you ever see, don't expect that market is going to leave that open. So I really would love to see this liquidity to be taken, but otherwise if it doesn't go, maybe it will fall, and I'm gonna sacrifice every single sell from here. So this is the last parallel gap that is holding the buy side liquidity. Look at the power of this gap. Whenever you see some liquidity and below the liquidity last gap, there is no other gap above this gap. This is the last gap. This gap is extremely strong. I really don't like to mark this type of small gap. Instead of that, this gap is more beautiful to me. I prefer to mark this gap, and as you can see, bodies respected this gap. Wick just went until that area. However, this is actually the last gap because there is no other bearish PDRA above this gap. It hold the market, send it lower, send it until there, and here is another last gap around that area that also I'm going to mark because it will be important for me later if I see this market is actually bearish. And then in this type of scenario, maybe I'll be able to use this gap. Before the market open, it is started to consolidate already. So let's hope for the best. Okay. I will only frame the buy. My first target is this buy side liquidity. This is my extreme target for today. The buy side liquidity here. This is my extreme target. And if you see over here, the sell side has already been cleared. Relatively equal lows, this low, that low, relatively equal lows has been built by Friday. If you guys remember, 1 minute last fair value gap, 15-minute last fair value gap, hold the market, send it higher. We frame that buy as well. So left this sell side liquidity, fall, took this sell side liquidity, trade the CE of the regular, I mean, sort of the weekly bullish cap. Now I wanna see this market to keep going higher. 3 minutes to go before the market open. I would love to show you the Apex offer because tomorrow is the last day of this offer. If I'm not mistaken, 50K intraday account is gonna cost you $49, which is absolutely so cheap. No activation fees, nothing. 100K account is going to cost you like $59. No activation fees, nothing. If you like any of this offer, go for it by using the code T2T. And also, if you can try the 90% off all standard eval account, if you pass them, you have to pay $59 only the activation fees for Apex account. Okay. So this is really an awesome opportunity if any of you are interested. Okay. So this is the market is going to open. Let me see how many likes did I get? Okay. So 78 people watching, 31 likes. If I don't get at least 50 likes, I'm not interested to read the market. Okay. So either leave the stream or push the like button. I know it's something like sound like rude, but as I told you, like I really don't care about anything. Okay, so I'm not like other people, other YouTubers. So I'll keep saying that, okay, let's go for the trade. No, this is the lowest probable week. I'll just simply warn you. Rest is your decision. Do you want to take the trade? Go for it. You don't want to take the trade, instead of that, just be I mean, don't want to use your funded account. That is really awesome. But all I would love to see, the like button. So push the like button, make it 50 likes, please, before the market open. This is going to open, and I'll see the regular trading or opening gap. I think it's gonna be a huge opening gap. A huge opening gap gonna be created here, maybe. I'll just wait for the market to open around 2 minutes. Okay, there you go. So this is the regular trading or opening gap. I'm only interested to take the buy. Okay, my first target is this buy side liquidity. My extreme target is this buy side liquidity for today. So market is falling at first. I'm gonna let the fall go. Not going to touch it. Even if it keep falling, I don't care. I'll just simply let the fall go without taking any trade or without framing any trade. And then I'll start to look for a buying opportunity. 1 minute last gap over here. Took this low over here, that low, this relatively equal lows, all of them has been taken after building this obvious liquidity around that area. So hope for the best. Let's see how it is going to work. This is the obvious liquidity. It can be taken. Uh, no objection, even if it would love to take it. Okay, so it has been taken as well. Like obvious liquidity has already been cleared by another shallow run. That means the liquidity is gone already. I don't need to worry about this liquidity anymore. If it take it by the body close, that is also more beautiful. Just will wait patiently for thinking about a buy. I'm watching all of this market like from 15-minute chart, from hourly chart, NQ, sorry, ES, YM. I'm just watching them. Okay. So both NQ and ES is bearish and YM is bullish. No worries. I think the setup is coming. Whatever gap it is going to be create over here, I would love to take the buy from the bullish order block from this gap. So for example, it has built a gap here. Okay, this is just for an example. This is a bullish gap. So market will come here, fall there, lowest down close body close candle. I'm gonna use it as a order block to take the buy for this buy side liquidity. This is so far in my mind. Okay. In the meantime, let me see what is gonna be the volatility. Okay, the volatility is so big. Just be a bit careful. Okay, just be a bit careful. 115 handle just by the first candle. So I think this candle is also cost 30-40 handle, something like that. Yeah, almost 50 handle. So just be bit careful. I'm only interested to take the buy. Target is this buy side liquidity, which is the first target. So from this gap, I think here to here it's 82 handle. I know it's a very small target, but that is really awesome. Otherwise, if it really reverse from here with building any sort of bull model, I'll try to take that buy. If I go for the weekly chart, and if you see this weekly candle over here, okay, that is that weekly candle, last week candle. And if you mark the high and the low, and then go for the TGIF, okay, the TGIF is already been done. So the TGIF was not done by Friday; it's already been done by Monday. That means before 9:30, if the TGIF is done, there is a possibility the market will be extremely strong in one side. So even though I'm looking for a bearish market, but if I see it is extremely I mean, sorry, even though I'm looking for a bullish market, but if I see any kind of bearish opportunity, for example, after that first fall, this is gonna be the Judas swing, right? After the Judas swing, if I see the weakness, I'll try to frame the sell because I know that before the market open, the TGIF is already been done. So it can be an extremely strong market today, a trendy market. Okay, so market is falling, it will keep falling. Let me see from the 50-minute chart if I have anything around that area. Okay. Okay. I have this bullish gap. I have this bullish gap. So I'm gonna mark this bullish gap at first. If it really would love to come here before going higher. And hourly chart. From the hourly chart, it is trading this last gap so beautifully. So I already have a bullish PDRA. Any sort of buying opportunity is now valid for me. But if it come here to this 50-minute gap, that is also acceptable. Okay. I really don't want to use the word block here from the hourly chart because hourly and 1 minute is bit difficult to synchronize. So I prefer to go for the 15-minute for the 1 minute order block. For example, if it was trading the 15-minute gap and then body close out of this candle, I'm I already got the order block, but unfortunately, this is the hourly last gap. I really don't want to use the hourly gap to use 1 minute order block. Maybe that's gonna be a bad decision. Maybe I'm gonna miss the trade, but I really would love to see, like, if it can fall here. If I would love to take the order block entry, okay. So far the liquidity has been cleared. Any sort of buying opportunity from here is a valid buy to me. Otherwise, if I don't get the buying opportunity from here, I'll wait for this gap to be closed, then use the bullish order block to take the buy from this gap. Okay, let's see. I'm only bullish. I'm not going to take any sort of fall. Okay, sell. At least not now. If it prove me that no, I'm extremely bearish, maybe then I'll think about a sell. Otherwise, I'm really not interested to look for any sort of sell. Old last gap tapped here. Wanna see how it is going to react with this old last gap. This gap you should keep in your chart. Like as long as it's going to be not violated at least 1 2 times, you should keep this gap on your chart. For example, if I were bearish, I'm allowed to go for a trade from there depending on the price action. For example, I'm not allowed to push the button from here, but this candle is an order block. So if it closes below this, I'm allowed to take a sell from this candle. I'm just not going to take the sell because I'm not bearish. But if I were bearish, I can simply go for the sell from here if there was any sell side liquidity. I just need to push the button from there to take that sell side liquidity. But as I'm not bearish and I'm not looking for any sort of sell side liquidity, I'll just wait for this market to go higher. And this is my target. Okay, that is going to be my target. My extreme target for today is this buy side liquidity. Let's hope for the best. In the meantime, if you find any trade, please let me know that. I'm only bullish today. Okay. At the beginning, you saw this fall. Like some of you can start to think, okay, now it is a bearish market. Of course, it can be a bearish market, but as long as I'm not going to get the confirmation, I'm not thinking about the bearishness. I'll keep looking for the bullishness for this buy side and finally for that buy side. When this buy side is taken, okay, now I'm not bullish anymore. Even though I don't need that buy side liquidity to be taken, which is over here, I don't need it because this is the extreme liquidity for today. I need to see this buy side who is going to be taken. And if it is taken, for example, I got a buying opportunity from here. It's gonna be like 178 handle. If I don't get it here, I know that I'm gonna get it from there, which is gonna be 87 handle. So any of this line, I'm gonna catch it. Only the buy is valid from this gap. I mean, sorry, the word block buy is valid from this gap. So for example, it come here, the lowest down close body close candle is going to be engulfed by a bullish candle. I'm gonna take the buy from that order block from here. Okay, just not interested to use this candle as an order block, even though it is trading the last parabolic from the hourly chart. I'm just not interested to use it as my bullish order block. Maybe that's gonna be a bad decision, but I'm just not interested to go for this order block. I would love to use the order block from here. If you look for the sell, go for it. Hey, Grand Rising, Marquis, how are you, brother? Jamil, good morning, brother. Muito bem, obrigado, senhor. Tudo bem? Jackson optimism week, even last year, this week was bullshit. No expecting anything exciting. Absolutely, brother. Like Jackson whole week, this is just a worst week to trade. To be honest, ICT told like Monday is good to trade. But in my opinion, the whole week should be avoided, not to take any trade by the whole week. That is the best case of scenario. But again, I'm not asking you to follow the things I'm saying. I'm just saying, I'm warning you. It can be a beautiful price action. Okay. You would love to really take the sell or buy and you want to be a profitable trader. Of course, please go for it. I'm just trying to warn you. If you're trading your funded account, just make sure you're not taking a huge risk. That's all. Okay. So if it fall here, lowest down close body close candle, I'm gonna use it as an order block. If it doesn't fall here, I'm just not going to use the order block logic. Instead of that, if there is a 22 buy model, I'm gonna take that buy. Anytime it will fall, I'll try to look for the buy. Yeah. Guys, please don't forget to push the like button. 111 people are watching. Please push the like button. Make it 100 likes so that I can make the giveaway. Okay, so I really need to finish the giveaway. So guys, please push the like button so that I can make the giveaway. For example, if I were bearish, that would be my beautiful order block. I'm not bearish, okay? So I'm not going to take the sell, at least not now. But if I were bearish, I would go look for this consecutive candle as a bearish order block. Why? This candle has closed below these two candles. So this is the order block line. So I would start to look for the sell from this area. Unfortunately, I'm not bearish, so I'm not trying to take any sort of sell. As long as it's not going to prove that it's a bearish market, I'm not going to take the sell. I'm only interested to take the buy. So, for example, this is gonna be a down close, body close candle, a beautiful candle. I'll use that candle as a bullish order block because this is the 50-minute last fair value cap. So, for example, it's a good candle like this candle or that candle, not like a small body long wick. If it is like that, of course, I'm not going to use it as my bullish order block. Came to the 15-minute last gap, want to see this market to go higher. So this is that gap I'm talking about. Otherwise, it has to fall until here, around that area. So I'll keep this gap here as well. By any chance, if it really would love to keep falling, I'll just keep this gap over here as well from the 50-minute chart. I really don't want to see that, but if it really would love to go there, any kind of bullish model is gonna be a valid buy model for me to take the buy. All of this fall happened from this gap around here. Now, if you see it clearly, this is the only gap. Here I have a very small gap that has been closed by body. So this is the only gap that is holding this. I mean this high, actually that high also cleared some built some buy side here, obvious liquidity. So this is that gap that is holding the market here. One time, two time, three time, then fall. Not bad. And this last gap, not that important. Like this last gap, it is not that important, but still look at this reaction from this gap. I'm just not bearish, so I'm not taking any sell. Otherwise, I would really love to go for the sell from this order blocks if I were bearish. I would love to show you the YMA bit. Like this is the YM market. Look at this. They should be correlated. Okay, they are sister. The they're bound to go all together. But look at this YM. Is there any weakness? I don't see any weakness. Now, ES is bit bearish comparing to NQ. This is not bearish at all. It's consolidating in the same level. Okay, it is inside the zone so far, and NQ is extremely bearish. So let's see. So finally, it came to this last gap with a down close body close candle. I think. Can I see anything over here? Not going to catch the falling knife. If any of you are interested to catch the falling knife, please go for it. I'll just keep waiting to see when and how it is going to build the setup. Okay. If the candle close above this candle, that's going to be my bullish order block. If it doesn't do that, I'll wait for this market to come here maybe. Let me see from the hourly chart if I have anything around that area. Okay, I have this bullish gap as well from the hourly chart. That is also a bullish gap from the hourly chart here, this gap. So I'm going to mark this gap just for the sake of this conversation. I'm going to keep it 1 minute chart from the hourly chart. If the body close above this, it's a valid order block and one of the best order block, to be honest. But I think the stop loss is gonna be too big. Okay, let's see. Keep falling. I'll let him fall until here, around that area. Not going to touch it. Just we'll let him fall here. Then we'll think about a buy again. So market just open for 14 minutes. Don't rush. Be I mean be patient because if you go to the 15-minute chart, this is the first 15-minute candle. How does it look like? The candle. Just compare with all other candle you can see around this market. Like all other candle. Every single candle you compare with just by this candle from 15-minute chart. So it's a very disgusting candle, okay, something like that. Market open and keep falling. Don't try to catch the falling knife. This is the first lesson for all of us. Never ever try to catch the falling knife. They have been broken, so I'm gonna remove them. A new 15-minute candle has opened. The first thing is never ever chase the market. Market is falling. You are bearish. For example, you are bearish. You got the run here somewhere. I don't know. You should get the run from here. If you got the run, good. You are bearish. You did a good job. Now you are bearish. You failed to take the entry around here. I don't know how you are going to enter, but maybe from the water block. You miss the trade. Never ever chase the market. Let the fall go. Wait for some kind of swing high to be taken at first. And then try to look for sell again. If you are bullish, never ever switch your mind and then don't think that, okay, I'm actually bearish, bullish, but it is falling. So let's take the sell. Don't do that, because while you are looking for a buying opportunity, that was a selling opportunity actually, and you miss that sell. So when you miss the sell, don't try to chase the market. It is it is one of the biggest crime in trading. Chase the market. Chasing market is one of the biggest crime. Don't you do that. Instead of that, just keep waiting for your turns to come. When your turn will come, you're gonna kill the market. Promise. I promise you, brother. Okay, 94 people are watching, 51 likes. Guys, please push the like button. Subscribe to our channel. If any of you are new over here, I really would love to finish the giveaway by today. Just make 100 likes so that we can make the giveaway. Let's see who else actually joined here. Hey, Sachin, how are you, brother? Long time no see. Bitmar, good morning, brother. Stew Fish, good morning, brother. Chatur, good morning. Trading in the zone, good morning, brother. HTF to LTF, high time frame to lower time frame. Would you like to see the Asia and London sell side liquid to be taken and then look for the long entry? Of course, you can do that. I just don't know where is those liquidity. Took that short that opened too easy to see. That's cool, man. Attacking that regular trading or opening gap from the beginning August. Best of luck and boom for you, man. Gap fill 90. Okay, I really would love to see where is that gap. Is this filled or not? Yeah, I think this gap was actually really awesome. That has been filled already, so it can start to go higher again. So if you guys remember, I just explained this gap so many times over here. Why it was so important, because this is the real liquidity void area. So market has an intention to come to this area. So this is small portion of this gap, like this candle high to this candle low. This is the area where the market has an I mean, could have been some kind of interest to fill this liquidity void area. So anytime market came here, jumped from there. That means it didn't close it. However, even though this whole gap is not filled yet, okay, so the gap is not filled yet. So let's wait for this gap to be filled 100%. I think that's the best idea. So I'm gonna go back in 1 minute chart. This is the low of that gap. So let's wait for this gap to be filled 100%. I think that is also awesome. Just simply don't want to take the buy right now. Would love to see if it can. And from the hourly chart, this is that hourly gap. That is that hourly gap. Still now the body didn't close below this hourly gap. I think time is very near to think about a buy. But I really appreciate if it fall here and close that opening liquidity void 100%. Look at the 1 hour candle. I think we are bearish to the C of the weekly range. It can be. It can be, brother. I'm just not interested to take the sell right now. I really would love to see some sort of buy run at first, and then the sell could be possible, because the TGIF is done already before the market open. It's gonna be a trend, easier friend type day. So when the trend is your friend, you just need to wait for some liquidity to be taken and then fall again. Some liquidity to be taken and then fall again. If it is a trend, trend is your friend until a certain period of level. So as this market came here, and I highly appreciate if it can touch this line, which is the regular trading or opening gap. More importantly, this 15-minute last gap, then go higher. That is the awesome. That is awesome, to be honest. Okay, so this is gonna be the first opportunity I think for today from this order block to take a sell here just until this liquidity void area. Okay, so from this area, highly risky, but I think it's worthy to go for this trade. I think 37 handle is gonna be the risk. This could be the target, and finally this is gonna be the target. Okay. So if I were here, I would think about this sell at first from this order block here. Thinking about that because I saw this candle has closed below this bullish fair value gap. So if it was bullish fair value, I mean bullish market, I think this gap would be respected and then market would keep going higher. But as I have this liquidity void is still open, so I think it's a valid trade for today. Okay, so this is gonna be the first trade. Uh, Putting stop loss above the order block, 37 handle. I know it's a huge risk, but still I think it's worthy. So if I go for this trade, that should be the first partial according to the logic. First partial, second partial, closing the trade. Okay, from the order block. I'm seeing here two things. First thing, this gap has been traded over here, okay, around this bull to bull candle. And the second thing is this bullish gap. So when this bullish gap has been closed, see this bullish gap, it has been closed by the body. So the highest up close body close candle that has traded this gap, wanna see this candle to work as a order block and to send the market to finish the unfinished business, which is the real liquidity void zone. So I really would love to see this market to trade here and then fall. More importantly, from the 15-minute chart, I just removed that 15-minute gap. But if you mark that 15-minute gap, you will be able to see that that gap is now working as a resistance. So I want to see this market to fall. First partial should be here, second partial here. Finally, close the trade around that area. Okay. Stop loss, just one or two handle above this order block. And whenever you will get the partial, you'll just move your stop loss above this high around here. This is going to be the plan for now. One more thing is trend is your friend. Why? Because the TGIF is already done before the market opens. So if this market really would love to fall and close this area, I think this is the best opportunity to go for that trade. Let's see, okay? Otherwise, anytime this high is going to be shifted with a bullish fair value gap, I'm just interested to take the buy. So this is gonna be the first trade for today. After that, I'll start to look for buy again from this gap from there. Just if any of you are in this trade, make sure you have taken a partial around here. It's not a small, okay? It's 38 handle. So not a small. Yeah, I know that you'll think that I'm gonna hold the trade, but just take some partial. It's random, right? Just take some partial, something like that. If it provide you the opportunity. Okay, that should be the first partial. Then you can simply close your trade here, or you can take another partial over here. This is the low of that liquidity void. And finally, close your trade over there. Okay, don't hold your trade. If you really are in this trade, don't hold your trade over here. Anytime I'll see a bearish gap, I prefer to move my stop loss just above this high. I should do that immediately, but I'm just waiting to see if it can build a gap over here. If it do that, I prefer to put my stop loss just above this high. Otherwise, just put the stop loss over there if you want. I prefer to put it here now, like here, okay? Just here. And then I'll see if I can get an opportunity to move my stop loss. Anytime this high is going to be shifted, I'm going to take the buy without any kind of confusion. Still now, I'm not interested to put the stop loss to the break even. The reason is market can come back again to trade the mean threshold of this order block. I'm just afraid of that. So that's why I'm just not interested to put the stop loss to the break even yet. You don't need to do that. You can simply do put the stop loss to the break even if you want. I highly appreciate not to put it, at least not now. Okay. If this high is going to be shifted with a bullish gap, I will just think nothing. Just simply take the buy because I'm extremely bullish. That was just a small scalping idea until here to this area. So where the market has traded so far, I think it has traded the mean threshold of this order block, the 50% of this order block. I'll see if it failed to close above this mean threshold. Okay. I don't want to see anybody to close above this line. If the body close above this line, I prefer to close the trade simply. So partial and they stopped out here. I think that's gonna be the trade. This high will be shifted. I'll simply look for the buy again. No more sell to me. Okay. I'll just look for the buy again. That was an idea that market is going to close this regular, I mean, liquidity void, but it actually didn't close it. Good. No worries. Anytime this high is going to be shifted with a bullish gap, I'm more interested to take a buy from this 22 buy model. Eventually, this target buy side and this buy side is going to be the target. I'll keep it like that way. If this high is shifted with a bullish gap. So right now I have this bullish gap over here that I'm going to mark around that area. And taking entry from here is, I mean, I don't think so. It will come here. But let's see how it is going to react over here. First, I need to see this high to be shifted so that I'll get a market structure shift. So this order block send the market lower to take this low one more time. And then it is going higher. Acceptable. Nothing wrong with that. Taking partial is always important. That's why like 1:1, you get the partial, just take the partial over there. And then if you're lucky, you are going to get a huge boom. If you're not lucky, then you are just going to get stopped out by trailing your stop loss, or maybe like here, you will trail the stop loss, you'll get stopped out around 27 handle. Good. I was extremely bullish today. Okay. So if I watch this chart, which is from YM, I can see that that is a beautiful opportunity to take the buy from here. Yeah, I market didn't give me the entry, but if it would give me the entry, that could be a beautiful opportunity to take the entry. Like for this candle, if it fall here, I could enter over here to take a buy. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I have the SMT as well. Wow, I have a lot of things. I just need the model. I have the SMT. I just need the model. I think it's already ready for the YM to go for the trade. I mean, from this gap. Yeah, YM has already provided, sorry, the ES has already provided the entry opportunities. And finally, this guy has given me the market structure shift. I'm allowed to take any kind of buy for now from here. I really don't know it will fall here or not. Okay. It will come over there or not. But I'm allowed to go for the trade from this area anytime it will fall. Otherwise, I'm not allowed to go for any kind of trade, I think. Yeah, if it fall here, I'm allowed to go for the buy. Now the buy is valid. If it come here to this gap, I really don't know it will come over there or not. Yeah, this is the 50%. This is the 6 on 8 level. Both of this level is over here. So I hope I'll get the opportunity. If I don't get it, bad luck. Mm, 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 mm. In ES, I already got the entry. So if I watch all other market in ES, I have already got the opportunity. I have already got the entry in ES. So for ES, like five handle is huge for ES. It is huge actually, guys. I don't know you guys know it or not. So 10 handle for ES is too much. Okay. So ES has already given you the entry. I don't know that it will give me the entry or not, but I'm gonna wish for the best. Okay. Just for a second, just for a tick, I think it's going to miss me. Yeah, just by a tick, it is going to miss me. Otherwise, if I'm trading this market, I have already got the opportunity to enter over here. Partial, gonna hold the trade for this buy side liquidity. This high, that high, relatively equal highs. Just interested to hold the buy side liquidity over here for yes. Beautiful SMT. Taken the liquidity. I'm only bullish. You guys know there was just an scalping idea from here to until this regular trading or opening gap. Unfortunately, market didn't come over there. So like partial, maybe you'll get some loss over here after taking the partial. Again, try to take the buy. So still it didn't give me the entry. But let's see what I went over here. So these two trade, I'll just keep watching them. NQ didn't give you the entry yet, but I still believe that it will come at least to the 50%, which is here. 6 on 8 level is here. Any of this level will be traded. 30 handle risk. No worries. That setup was good. One, two, three, four. So just immediate reaction is missing from this trade. Hope I'll get the entry. I don't know you guys got the entry or not, but I can see that it didn't give me the entry. Not yet. Okay, that was a big fall. And is it going to fall again? I'll watch this low because if this low is not taken, because that is the origin low, I'll look for a word block buy again. For example, if it stop me out here, it should not because I just covered the 50% of this candle. But if I get stopped out here, I'll watch this low. If it failed to take this low, I'll keep looking for the buying opportunity from here. Otherwise, if it fall and take this trade, I mean this line over here, then I'll think about buy from there again. I was not able to put my stop loss below this low, which is nearly 52 handle. That's why I just randomly put it around here, which is 30 handle, okay, something like that. So I'll just watch. Can it fail to take this low and close above this candle? If you do that, I'm gonna take the re-entry from the order block. Otherwise, if it fall and come here, I'll take the buy from that area. I'll look for that buy. Either way, that would be a losing trade. If this low is taken, any sort of bearish gap is an valid sell model until this area. In this type of scenario, market has cleared the liquidity, but I mean, this is not the market structure shift. The liquidity has been cleared. Market structure shift, fair value gap, a valid selling opportunity. As I'm bullish, I'm not thinking this is going to take this low. Instead of that, market will go higher. My stop loss was tight, so I got stopped out. I should put it below this low. I put it here because it's 52 handle. Okay, so just because of that, I didn't put my stop loss over here. So I'll keep it over there. And I'll keep watching. Can it take this low? Anytime it will take this low, any sort of bearish gap is a valid bearish gap to take a sell for this line, even though that is not liquidity. But still, this is the liquidity void, the low, the most important area, and for the 15-minute gap. So that is a valid sell model. Otherwise, failed to take this low, closed above this order block. I'm gonna take the buy from the order block. Why? Because the origin low market failed to take it. My stop loss was tight, so I got stopped out. We did the damage. Absolutely okay. And so far it is respecting the 6 on 8 level, I believe so. Okay, it actually broke the 6 on 8 level. So I think it is going to fall maybe. Let's see. This low is shifted. This low is taken. Any short of sell is valid. I really don't want to do that. I want to take the buy from this order block. So for example, body has closed above this order block. I'll try to take the buy from this order block. But otherwise, if it like fall from here, I think I'll just let the fall go and take the buy from here again. If there is a market structure shift, swing low has been shifted, I'm already in a trade, like to take a sell. But unfortunately, there is no swing low that is going to be shifted except this low. This is the most important swing low that need to be shifted. As long as this low is not going to be shifted, I'll just keep looking for the buying opportunity. Now, my interest to see if it can engulf this candle to work as a bullish order block. Mhm. The problem is market is highly volatile. Okay, if the market was not highly volatile, I would be able to put my stop loss below this low. But this is really so volatile market. What if it is going to fall one more time to close the liquidity void area? I'm gonna take a 53 handle loss. I just didn't want to take that loss, so I put my stop loss over here, covering the 50% of this candle, the lowest down close body close candle 50%. Unfortunately, so far I can see that wick did the damage. Now it's time to see how it is going to react. If it close above this, I'm interested to take a rebuy from this order block, because here I got stopped because of my tight stop loss, and eventually I want to see this market to come here for this buy side liquidity over there. Okay, 58 likes, 83 people are watching. Can you guys please push the like button, make it 100 likes? Please do that. Wow, YM has also given the entry, but it is too long. So market actually came to this gap after a long period of time. So it's not a valid buy. If it close above this candle or the lowest down close body close candle, that's gonna be a order block to take the buy. If you're trading, make sure you're not touching the funded account this week. Please don't do that. This week, touching funded account, it's kind of like blowing your account intentionally. Don't do that. Come back with your funded account next week. It's gonna be more beautiful, more easier to trade rather than this week. This is the hardest week of out of 365 days in a year. The hardest week you are going to trade this time. This low is going to be shifted with any kind of gap. I'm gonna take the sell for this gap and for this area. It's a very small range, but that's gonna be the sell. Otherwise, I'm just interested to go for a buy from this candle. If it really love to go higher, then it should build the order block before clearing this low. Please don't start consolidate. That is the worst case of scenario. Don't make the consolidation, please. That is also a valid swing high, so I don't need to wait for this candle to be inverse. If this high is going to be inversed, I'm allowed to go for a new buy, which is inside a 22 YT model. So 22 YT model inside another 22 YT model. So that is also valid to take the buy if this high is going to be shifted. So I don't need to wait for this candle to be valid as an order block before taking the buy. If this high is going to be shifted with a bullish fair value gap, just the buy is going to be invalidated from any kind of area here if this low is taken. If this low is taken with a bearish gap, that's going to be a sell model rather than taking buy. Let's see. Yeah, thousands of buy side liquidity. I think I'm gonna let this fall go until here. I'll let them go and then we'll try to take a buy from there. That's beautiful because this low is an idea that market is going to close this low, which is the liquidity void area, but it's risky because it's not the liquidity. So I think even if it fall, I'm gonna let this fall go without taking it. And then when it will come here, I'll start to think about buy again. Like any kind of bullish market structure shift, I'll try to take that buy. I think that's the good idea. Rather than taking a sell, it's gonna be a beautiful idea to take the buy. Without clearing this low, if it started to go higher, in type of order block entry or internal 22 buy model is both of them valid without clearing this low. If this low is taken, no more buy is valid from the order block or internal 22 IT model. Let's see. This is the origin low, okay, of this setup. So it came here, it is acceptable as long as it's not taking this order block is valid. I mean, it's taking too much time. Of course, this is not the order block anymore. But if this high is shifted, I'm allowed to go for a buy from this internal 22 IT model inside that 22 IT model. And this time, I think that my stop loss will be so beautiful as well. Just let's see if it can provide that opportunity or not. Whoever is interested to take the sell, please go for it. This QT market is doing a bit time distortion. I really don't know why, because this is the silver bullet zone 10 to 11. It should not do this time distortion, at least not from the beginning of the hour, but it's doing some kind of time distortion. It's cool. Let's see if it shifted. I'm gonna take a buy again from the fair value gap. So the order block, it's not a good idea anymore because it takes too long to build it as an order block. So I'll simply go for the internal 22 YT model buy again. And of course, I'm gonna hold my trade as long as possible. I think the opportunity is coming. Just need to see a market structure shift with a bullish fair value gap. That's all I need so far. So if this candle shift the market with a bullish gap, I'm gonna try a new buy from here. If there is a gap, no gap, no trade. Okay, no gap. There is no gap. So I can take this trade. I think this guy has that gap. So after the market structure shift, this guy has that gap. YM has that gap. Unfortunately, I don't have the gap. If I had the gap, I would simply look for another buy from here. Sell is only valid if this low is taken. In that type of scenario, I would have some sort of lower market structure shift. Otherwise, I'm just willing to take the buy. Again, like this sell, this buy didn't work because my stop loss was too tight. So if I could put my stop loss below this low, maybe I would be survive over here. Unfortunately, that is 53 handle. So I'm not interested to take a 53 handle loss. So I wanted to take a re-entry from the water block of any other area. But unfortunately, so far I don't see any opportunity except this YM. YM has the opportunity. Yes, doesn't have anything at all, and NQ also doesn't have anything. So I can't take any other trade except the YM. I'm just thinking about the buy as long as this low is not taken. This is the origin low. So if this low is taken, maybe I'll think about sell again. Otherwise, I'm just would love to think about the buy at least this gap. I'm just confused. How can I frame this buy because there is no gap? Can I use the order block? No, I can't use the order block. What can I do? I can't use any order block logic over here. This is not a valid market structure shift, by the way. Not even one tick gap. Hard market. Okay, to be honest. Good morning, Jamie. Back up. Be careful. ES is climbing like the SMT with ES. Yes, sir. I have the ES SMT, but no buying opportunity yet. Okay. Look at how the 10 a.m. candle open. How did it open? I mean, what is the importance of that 10 a.m. candle? Oh, okay. So you're asking about this candle? That's 1002. So 10 a.m. candle is an indecisive candle. Nothing is wrong with that, brother. NQ fair value gap 954. 954. What is that fair value gap important? Like you want to take the sell from there? Go for it. I am not interested to take the sell as long as this low is not taken because I have already a bullish setup over here. So this market, if I would love to take an entry, I'm allowed to take an entry from the water block, but I really don't have any water block and like bullish water block. If I would love to take the sell, this low need to be shifted. After shifting this low, then I'm allowed to take a sell. For example, here is a boom, bear candle, okay? And this low has been shifted with a bearish gap. I can take a sell from here until this line or this line, any of this area or this gap, okay? Otherwise, I'm only bullish. This low is a protected low of this 22 buy model. So fall, take the liquidity, which I marked as an SMT. So I have the SMT, take the liquidity, market structure shift, fair value gap, tap to this fair value gap. It came until that area, which is really unusual, but it can come over here by anyhow. Okay, it can come over here. After coming here, I'm allowed to take a buy, but I'm just worrying about where I can take that buy because I don't see any beautiful order block. I don't see any beautiful opportunity to take the buy. If this low is taken, no more buy is valid to me as long as it's not coming here around that area. If it make any sense, brother. Yes, dipped into 944 inversion fair value cap NQ and rejection block. That's cool. This week will hard again with Jackson Hole crazy price action in August. Absolutely, brother. Just don't touch the funded account this week. Go with the Oh man, it could give me the entry. It didn't. Go with your Eval account. Don't just push it. Okay. However, I'm gonna get another opportunity. No worries. I think I'm gonna get this trade. If this high is shifted, it's still the same logic over here. The market structure shift, you remember? The same logic over here. Another market structure shift. And this time, I think I'll have some sort of bullish gap. So if I have that, I'm gonna take the buy from there. And stop loss, yeah, below here. Okay. I just don't know it will take me or not. Target is this gap. That's gonna be the third opportunity. If it build another gap over here, I have to take the entry from this gap. And in that type of scenario, I'll just move my stop loss higher by taking the entry from there. So I've already got the internal 22 YT model. Inside this 22 YT model, I have this internal 22 YT model. Here is the gap. This candle high, this candle low. Okay. So that is the gap. I'm just not sure that I'll get the opportunity or not. It will take me or not. This, if it build another gap over here, I have to take the entry from here by covering this gap. So I'm gonna do that if it build. But right now the limit order should be there. That should be the limit order right now. Okay. Anytime it will close, the entry point will be from here to this upper gap, which is the entry fair value gap. Breakaway gap, we'll expect this is gonna be left open. Okay, not this gap. This is gonna be left open. So let's see if it can build another gap. If it build another gap, that's gonna be the entry point. I just don't know it will take me or not. So here I got stopped out because my tightest stop loss. According to the logic, the stop loss should be below this low. I was not able because it was 52 handle. If I'm wrong, what is going to happen? 52 handle. I won't be able to take a re-entry. So I put my stop loss just below this mean threshold of this order block. I got stopped out. Market fall tried to take this low, but failed it. Okay. So now the entry will be from here, from there. So if it come here within 5 candle, that's gonna be the entry. A new 22 buy model inside this 22 buy model. The shame is I don't have the order block because this is the best area to look for an order block. Now, if I push myself, I can use it as an order block. I don't want to push it. Okay. So I'll try to take the entry from here to this gap or maybe a bit above of this gap with the market order. Okay. Just not exactly from this gap, like a bit above from this gap. It's not going to make any difference. Like, like depending on your understanding, wherever you feel like entry. And I think I got the entry. Yeah. There's the entry. Target is this 50% of this gap. In the meantime, I'll just try to hold the take some partial. Covered just the breakaway gap. This is the breakaway gap that has been covered. Same logic, same everything. 1:1 partial, which is 33 handle. Covered just to the breakaway gap. Expecting the reversal from this entry fair value gap. But it can trade this breakaway gap. If it doesn't trade this breakaway gap, that is the best case of scenario. Already got the order block. Anytime market will close above this candle, I will have the bullish order block. So I can add more over here. I can by moving my stop loss. Otherwise, like if it fall from here, that's just shit. That should be the first partial, by the way. Traded the breakaway gap. Nothing to worry about that. It can trade it. But if it leave it open, that is the best case of scenario. Also, it has built the buy side liquidity. See this high and that high relatively equal highs. A beautiful buy side liquidity has been built as well. Just remember, this is not the order block. These two consecutive candle is the order block. The high of this order block is over here. It's not the order block high. However, this time also my stop loss should be here. I'm not allowed to do that. So what I am going to do, I'm going to put my stop loss just the 50% of this candle. Just the 50% of this candle. Okay, just below here. 33 handle, 34 handle, something like that. Yeah, 33 handle is good. For example, it doesn't work, it means that the setup, the PDRs are not respecting. If you guys remember on Friday, I showed you why it is a good price action, why it is a bad price action. When the PDRA doesn't respect, it's a bad price action. When the PDRA keep respecting, that is a good price action. So if it doesn't work, that means the PDRs are not respecting. So when it happened here, around that area, it was acceptable because market could come until that area. But if it doesn't go higher from here now, with the speed. It means that the PDIs are not respecting. So it's in a seek and destroy mode. I think it's an I mean everything is good. I mean still everything is good. Just wanted to see this gap to be unfilled, but it didn't do that. I mean this stop loss placement you have to just yeah, just you have to work with this a bit over here. I mean, I put it here, but if I were in this state, maybe when I was seeing it is falling, I would move it a bit lower or something like that. As long as it's not going to go against, I mean, out of my control. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll just keep it over here and just let this go. For this trade, I don't want to see this low to be taken. I know some of you are thinking this is a bearish market, so why you are looking for a buy market, buy setup over here? But to me, this is not a bearish market at all. This is a bullish market. It is doing this all of these things over here. There could be two reasons. First of all, the whole morning session after this big fall. So if I come here from the 15-minute chart, watch it. After this big candle, market is just doing sideways over here. One, two, three. 15-minute candle is sideways over here after this big fall. So if it really would love to do this sideways candle, the morning session is dump already. And the second reason is this low, which is actually the regular trading or opening gap low. Still, this portion of this area is unfilled here to here. This portion is still liquidity void. So maybe it will fall to close it 100%, then go higher. I don't want to see that. I can't target that. I have to target the buy only. And I still believe this is going to work. Here you have to just work with this stop loss a bit. When it is falling, you have to move it a bit higher or lower just to get the confirmation. I mean, just to make it much more easier. It will close whenever it will close. A re-entry or adding is valid over here. If it close above this gap, like here, re-entry is also valid by covering just this area or maybe adding more over there. Anything, both of them is valid. Re-entry or adding or pyramid if you are already in this trade. I prefer to pyramid the trade because re-entry is gonna be bit risky. Pyramiding trade is good. Like if you do the pyramid, you'll be able to put your stop loss over here around that area. So this is 10:30. Either the market will move higher now or it will never go higher before 11. Both of this trade didn't work because of my tight stop loss. The logic was absolutely perfect, but the stop loss was bit tight. So like here this is the most logical level here. It's not like this low, it's not like that low. The most logical level is here because you are going to use this re-entry gap, I mean entry gap as a re-entry opportunity or something like that. But here the stop loss below this low, here the stop loss below this low, both of them are valid over here. at least below this low, and more importantly, until the 50% of this gap is a beautiful target. Just would love to see if it can make a gap over here and left that gap open. In that type of scenario, stop loss is over here valid, absolutely valid. If it build a bullish gap over there, and by the next five candle, if it doesn't close this gap 100%, then I'm allowed to move my stop loss below this candle. PDRs are not respecting today, like the Friday PDRs was so beautiful comparing to today's price action. Today's price action is bit difficult because the PDRs is broke, is intent to be broken. Like here, it's broken. It should not break it, to be honest, but it's broken, unfortunately. Even though below this candle low was a good idea to put the stop loss, and I think if I were in this trade, I would move it here, to be honest, while I was seeing it is falling. But yeah, it already done, so I'll just keep it as a loss. I wanna see the next five candle. If it failed to fill this gap unfilled, then I'll be able to move my stop loss just below this candle over here, or maybe here as well to the break even. Both of them are valid as long as it's not touching the low of this gap. So if I'm here, I would love to take partial to the low of this gap here. Second partial it should be this area, and finally close the trade to the low of this gap. Below of this gap is going to be the closing trade. Okay, it is trading this gap. To me, this gap doesn't have any value. To be honest, it doesn't have any value. It should not hold the market. It is also aligned with the 15-minute bearish gap. This big bearish gap. The good thing is the 50% of this bearish gap is aligned with this gap. That's why I'm giving importance to this gap, not that specific gap from 1 minute chart. Not this gap. I'm giving the priority to this gap because the 50% of this bearish gap aligned with this specific gap over here. That 1 minute gap, which is here around that area. 30 handle, 30 handle, 60 handle loss. Both of this trade didn't work because of my tight stop loss. But again, like stop loss, I should have put it a bit lower. Here, I didn't have any opportunity because I couldn't go for the 53. But here, I could take a bit more risk below this low, at least below the breakaway gap candle low, at least the breakaway gap candle low. I could do that, but I thought that covering the 50% of this candle is safe. But unfortunately, it just took me by tick, and then I have to take re-entry or the, like if I were in this trade, I think I would move my stop loss below this low, at least below this low. So it just get more risk around that area. However, I would love to count the candle one, two, three, four, five. Within five candle, if it doesn't fill this gap 100%, I prefer to put my stop loss to the break even. Within five candle, if it doesn't close this gap, okay. And if it touch this gap, simply I will put my stop loss to the break even whenever it will touch this gap. This gap is highly important, guys. I don't know. You can understand the logic over here. The 15-minute, see this 15-minute, and go for the electronic trading hour. This candle low, this candle high, 50% is over here, which is aligned with this gap around that area. So that's why this gap is important from 1 minute chart. And as I told you, like if this low is taken, then and only then the sell is going to come in my mind. If this low is not taken, that is the origin low of the bull setup. This low is the origin low, right? This market structure shift, fair value gap, this low. As long as this low is not taken, there is always the re-entry opportunity to take the buy. Even if I get stopped out over here, there's always a re-entry opportunity. So count the candle one, two, three, four. By the next candle, if it is not closed 100%, my stop loss is at the break even or maybe just below this low, like here. or the break even. Both of them are valid by this candle if it is not closed 100%. By the next candle if it is closed 100%, by this candle if it is closed 100%, then immediately I have to move my stop loss below this low whenever it will start and close above this gap again. I have to move my stop loss just below this low. But I think I'll be safe. Okay. I don't think so. It is going to close this gap 100%. Anytime it will touch this gap, stop loss should be at the break even. Okay. How many likes did I get? 63. Can you guys please push the like button? Make it 100 likes so that we can do the giveaway. Hey Dora, good morning. Thanks for the penguin. Like the SMTS, I read your comment. Mark is not looking good, brother. I mean, this was good, okay? But again, my stop loss, I am pretty much confident if I were in this trade, I would move it because I had the opportunity to put it below this candle, which was still in under my control. Here, I would definitely get stopped out because I couldn't put my stop loss below this low. I had to cover the mean threshold of this order block. So I wouldn't be able to cover the. But here, I think if I were here, I'd definitely put it below this breakaway gap candle because it was still under my control. And then if I survived here, I'm gonna add more over there. Whenever it is going to close here, I'm gonna add more over here as long as it's not coming over here. So when it came here, now my stop loss is at the break even and I'm already got a partial around 78 handle. So think like this loss over here, there is a partial put stop loss here, like a small loss around that area after the partial. Both of them has already been mitigated plus the profit. This one, I definitely moved my stop loss below this low. So came to this gap. Still, I'm not thinking this is going to fall again. But yeah, I'll just be careful because my stop loss has to be to the break even. I prefer this market to go through this and finally to come to this gap at least because I'm extremely bullish. Let's see. If I were in in this trade like 5 micro contract, I have already cleared 3 micro contract over here. 3 micro contract here, 1 micro contract here, 1 micro contract there. So this is the way I would love to go for this trade. Here, I will definitely clear 1 micro contract around that area, this area. Of course, I would be in more than 5 micro contract here, like 5 to 7 micro contract. I would be in this trade for 7 micro contract. But yeah, this is what it is. This is the most logical level to me. This line, it should be the second partial level. After trading this line, this market can fall. There is nothing wrong about that. After trading this CE of this gap, it can fall. I am not going to argue with you. But as long as it's not touching this line, I'm really not interested to see the fall. There can be a retracement, like the range retracement can happen, but don't want to see the fall. And the retracement until this IOFED is valid, until this gap, it is valid. Trade until this IOFED. I'm not allowed to add more over here, but if it touch this line and then come here, I'm allowed to add more over here. So when it will touch, maybe I'll close one more micro contract. I'll have just one micro contract left. Come here, I'm gonna add 3 more over there by trailing my stop loss. But without touching the CE, if it come to the IOFED, I'm not allowed to add more because it has already traded a most logical level. After trading this, it can start to reverse and come over here. I don't want to see that, but it can do that. Still, it has the sell side liquidity now, right? This is now the sell side liquidity, relatively equal lows over there. It can fall for the sell side liquidity to fill the unfilled gap 100%. Regular trading or unfilled gap 100%. So let's see how it is going to work. Come on, man, you have to trade the C. This consolidation is not good looking at all. After the run, if the consolidation happen, there is a probability that it will reverse. So I really don't want to see the reversal right now before trading the C of the gap. Come on, just touch the C. If I'm extremely unlucky, maybe it will not touch the C. Okay, there you go. Now, to be honest, closing trade here is more than enough for being profitable. Even if you get both of these losses, still your loss will be mitigated. You will be in profit because like 60 handle something like loss, you'll be profit. But I prefer to hold this trade until the low of this gap. Whenever it will come here, I'm done for trading. Like not going to touch any other trade. No more trade is valid if it touch this low around that area. As long as it's not going to break this gap, because that is the gap has been created by the 9:30. Okay, so 9:30 this big fall happened. So yeah, it can simply come over here, trade this gap, and rest of the morning session can be extremely like consolidation. Otherwise, that's the boom. The thing is here, how I'm going to break this. Like market is falling, falling, falling. When it came here, build this bearish order block. I had an opportunity to take the sell from that order block until this unfilled gap. Not a beautiful idea to go for a trade just because this is an expectation that market is going to fill the unfilled gap 100%. Just because of that, and also the 50-minute bullish gap. It doesn't need to do that, but that was an idea to go for it. Like 38 handle you will get an partial, then maybe you'll move your stop loss to the break even, or maybe to the like 25, 27 handle. I think something like that, you'll get some stopped out over here. So for example, I'm in a trade, 5 micro contract entry, got 3 micro contract already closed. One is here, one is there, closed all the 5 micro contract. Otherwise 3 micro contract I'll get here, and then I'll get like 26. So it's a break even trade. Okay, thing like that, it's a break even trade. After that, I would love to go for this buy, and I again like agree with you. I'm not allowed to put my stop loss below this low. It's 51 handle. I don't want to take that risk. It's 50 handle, man. If I'm wrong, I'm going to a 50 handle loss. I don't want to take it. Instead of that, I better get a stop out here by covering the C of this candle, and then I'll look for the re-entry opportunity. So over here, I can put my stop loss at the beginning over here. It's not a beautiful order block, by the way. Comparing with this order block, it's not a beautiful order block. Maybe when I'll see this falling, I'll move my stop loss. It is still under my control. Below the candle that has built this breakaway cap. If it works like this way, I'm already profitable from that gap by adding more over here. But if I get stopped out around that area, it's not a good idea to take a re-entry. But if I'm like forcing the market to go for it, I really would love to go for this trade from here. But I highly appreciate if I can add more over there rather than taking a re-entry around that area. However, in every single way, I'm just only interested to take the buy until a certain period of level. After coming to this level, I have already covered like 90% of my partial is already been covered here. So I have just one micro contract left. So what I'm going to do now, if it come to this gap, I'm gonna add more here by putting my stop loss just below this gap. So something like one micro contract here, three micro contract there. So entry will be here somewhere. So it will be like entry level here and stop loss below this unfilled gap, honestly unfilled gap. Okay, and then I would love to see this market, can it come until the low of this gap? Otherwise, simply closing here is also gonna be a winning trade. Like I'll be huge profit over here. The thing is, I never get confused by the selling. Sell is valid if and only if this low is taken. That is the only logic I know, that origin low. As long as this low is not taken, this is an extremely bullish market. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to take the buy from the order block. The best entry here from here is the order block entry. But you see this whole consolidation didn't allow me to look for an order block. Fortunately, I got the 22 buy model. Inside this 22 buy model is called the inside model. Okay. So after here, like if it doesn't come here, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm gonna simply wait and trail my stop loss. Whenever it will just keep going higher and close above this, I'll just simply put my stop loss below this gap. And then, like if it come here, I'm gonna get the boom. If it doesn't come over here, I'm just simply got a stop out around that area, something like that. Anytime it will come here, I'm gonna add more over there. not going to think it is going to fall, not going to take any sort of sell. No sell is valid to me. How can I take the sell? If there is a beautiful like sell model like that you can't ignore, something like that, then maybe I'll think about a sell. But look at the price action over here. Do you see any sort of swing low that you can use for shifting market structure? Like here, a beautiful swing high has been shifted here. A beautiful swing high has been shifted over there. Swing high has been shifted over there. But if I say like this is a swing low, it doesn't look make any sense. This is a swing low, it doesn't make any sense. It's clearly relatively equal lows. So what the market is doing here, engineering the sell side liquidity around that area. Okay, so market is actually engineering sell side liquidity. And how it is going to react? Fall, take that engineering liquidity, came to the IOFED, institutional order flow entry deal, come here. It means that market is interested to take me again. If it doesn't do that, instead of that, just keep going higher and tap here, it means that market is just not interested to give me a pyramiding opportunity from there. So any of this is going to happen. I prefer to take adding more here, not re-entry. Okay, you should have some partial in your hand, like one or two micro contract. I prefer one micro contract. So if you have one micro contract, then you can add more over here, three more micro contract. Your entry level will be there. So it will be your entry here with four micro contract by putting your stop loss just below the unfilled gap. So four micro contract entry for 25 handle risk. Entry will be there. Okay. So something like that. This is gonna be your new entry opportunity. And every time it will go higher, you'll just take a partial over there. Okay. What I mean by 10 a.m. open is OLS. It's okay. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's cool, man. There's the first presented fair value gap. Oh, okay. That is also the first presented gap. I didn't notice that. Yeah, that is also the first presented gap. I was just using this gap the way I'm seeing the market. Like market open, leave that area with speed. Like all of these lows, see these lows and like close below this last gap. How is speed it left that gap or that area. So when I saw this, I'd love to give the highest priority to this gap. Okay. So I don't know why it's showing from here. It should be there around that area. Okay. So that should be the gap. I want to see the highest priority. I want to give the highest priority to this gap. Because if this gap is broken, I know that this buy side liquidity is going to be the next target. And finally, for this buy side liquidity is going to be my target for today. So I will wait for this candle to close out this. Then I will start to think about the order block buy again from this gap. So remember, okay, I really don't know it will give me the pyramiding opportunity over here or not. But if it doesn't do that, I don't care. Whenever it will come here, I'll start to think about the order block trade from here to this buy side liquidity by using this gap. So it is in my mind right now. Otherwise, how can I take re-entry to take the buy from here? At least I don't see anything yet. Okay, at least I don't see anything yet. But hope I'll find something good. Thank you for writing Boom Jamil. That's the first page. I read your comment that gap also falls on top of 50% of the 930, 1030 dealing range. That is also a good sign. Thanks, Danchi, for writing Boom Brother. Trading in the zone. Thanks for writing Boom Man. What's your win rate overall? Okay, that is a very wild question, brother. What is the win rate? Now, why the win rate is important to you? Think like that way. I went with one, two, three, four. Okay, four trade. So think like that way. It is a losing trade as well. Just think like that way. It is a losing trade. This is a losing trade. This is a break even. So I'm gonna remove this entry. This is just break even. I'll be in a small profit over here, but I'll just call it like break even. I'm 100% sure I'll put my stop loss over here while it was falling. But again, let it call a losing trade. So this loss 30 handle, 60 handle. I took a 60 handle loss. So two loss, one win. How much is going to be the win rate? I think 33% is going to be the win rate. 33%, right? Like, yeah, I think this is gonna be 33% win rate. But eventually, I will be in profit over here. So 30, 30, 60 handle loss. I have taken thing like that, a 5 micro contract, 5 micro contract, 60 handle loss. Put my stop loss here, 78 handle. Out of 60 handle loss, 78 handle, I took thing like 5 micro contract. Okay, 3 micro contract I closed there. One micro contract I closed there. Four micro contract I closed for 88 handle. So my win rate is smaller, but my profit is bigger. So I really don't look for the win rate, brother. Unfortunately, I'm just saying it like the way I'm starting my trade, like five micro contract. But as I told you, I prefer to add more over here. So 5 to 7 micro contract entry around that area. 7 micro contract entry is gonna mitigate all of my losses plus a huge profit over here. I don't look at the win rate, unfortunately. I just look how many handle I'm taking loss, how many handle I'm taking as a profit. Yeah, I was greedy around that area because I didn't want to take the partial over here because of this loss. But if it was not a losing trade, I would prefer to take a partial here because I would add more over there. So I'll try to take some partial here, and then I'll try to take some partial here, try to take some partial here, and finally hold the trade for this area. So some of you can think it is going to fall. I don't think so. I'm just watching how it is going to take this low, trade here, and then go higher again. Boom wizard. Thank you, Jamie, for writing boom for me. Guys, how many likes did I get? 75 likes. Just 24, 25 more likes needed for the giveaway. So can you guys please push the like button? Subscribe to our channel if any of you are new over here. Just subscribe to our channel so that how many subscribers do I have? Let me see. 12,196 subscriber. So if I get four more subscriber, it's gonna be 1,200 to 200 subscriber. Is there four people, four person actually is not our subscriber? Let me see. Okay, if there is four person who is not our subscriber, now 5% actually. I need five more person to make it to 12,200. Please subscribe to our channel, okay, and make it 200 for us. It's absolutely free. Trust me, man. You don't have to pay anything over here. Like a lot of you can think about fall right now because the market is trading the 15-minute bearish gap. It's a good area to think about a fall. No, man. It's building a bullish gap from 15 minutes. Right? So it will come here to this 15-minute bullish gap. It will start to go higher again because I have a huge buy side. Okay. Even though I'm not getting 100 likes, it's okay. Let's start the giveaway. If Tamim is over here, I highly appreciate, brother, for you to start the giveaway. And please share the link of our Discord so that I can make it a pin comment so that people can join our Discord group. Okay. Can you please? Okay. Yeah. Tamimi, can you please start the giveaway, brother? I'm not going to get the 100 likes, unfortunately. Just share the link of our what to say, I mean, the give, I mean, of our Discord. I'm just going to make it pin so that if any of you are interested to join, they'll be able to join. I wish I would get. Okay, now when I'm asking for that, they saw it, they give their bad eye, okay, and now it is dropping. Come on, man, I need it to increase, not drop. Let me see. Just share the link, okay, so that I can pin it, the Discord link, and please start the giveaway for me. If you are with us in our Discord, Tami will mention everyone, okay, so that you'll be able to join the. It's a uh, Apex account. I'm going to give any size you want to take. You can take any size, okay. However, we have the Apex Trader funding offer running on. It is going to be valid until tomorrow. 50K intraday account is gonna cost you $49. No activation fees. $59 is gonna cost you for 100K account. No activation fees. If you don't like this too, then you can go for 90% off all standard Eval account. Every intraday price action activation fees is gonna cost you like $59. Use the code T2T for any kind of offer. This is really a great opportunity, guys. So today I'm also going to give you an Apex Trader funding. I thought that I'll get 100 likes, then I'll make the giveaway. And I can see that I got like 78 likes out of 79 people. It is also good. So let's see. Come on, man. I'm not going to get 200. Someone please share the link on our Discord, or let me actually try it. Okay, the giveaway started already again. Yeah. Tamim is going to mention here so that everyone will be able to click on that link. Here, just click on this giveaway from the main room inside the trader zone. So inside the trader zone, main room, click on that. Click on that giveaway over here, that giveaway. Come here, click on that icon. Just that icon. If you click it for first time, nothing will happen. The next time, if you click it, you will get a message over here. You have already entered this giveaway. So you will get under, I mean, you will be sure that you are already in the draw. So please click on that link. I mean, this icon just click on that icon. Come to the main room, click on that giveaway, click on that icon. That's all. Okay. And Discord link is over here. So I'm gonna pin it. If any of you are interested, just click on that pin comment. That's the Discord link. Absolutely free, man. You don't need to pay me anything. Just absolutely free. So click on that link. It will drive you over here to the Discord. And then you'll be able to join. I don't think so. I'm gonna get 1200, 200 subscriber. So let's go back to 1 minute chat. Let's see what is happening. Remember, guys, as long as it's not going to fall and coming to this gap, no more entry is valid. Yeah, I know it is time distortion, a bit more time distortion for 11 a.m., I guess. Uh, but let's see, okay, if it can fall, then go higher. If it fall, then go higher. Good. I will be in this trade already one micro contract, trying to hold it here until this area. In the meantime, I'll try to add more over here by putting my stop loss below this area. Otherwise, I'll just simply close the trade if I see something bad is happening. So right now, I think the market is waiting for the 11 a.m. for fall to take liquidity. First run is the fake run, then the toward the gap. So anytime you will think about buying from here, just be very careful. Okay, it needs to take this liquidity at first. I wish I would get the 200 subscriber by today. So 6 more subscriber is needed. Again, guys, if you would love to join the giveaway, go to the Discord, go to the main room, click on that giveaway, and just click on this icon. You'll be able to join to the giveaway. Okay, so I can see like 28 people has already entered. 12 minutes left. Within 12 minutes, you have to enter. Okay, so please do it faster. It's the Apex account, and any account size you would love to trade. I mean, you wanna take, you can take any account size. It can be 300K account if you are the winner. Okay, Tamim has already shared the link to the pin comment as well. Okay, so yeah, this comment is actually this one is actually you can join the giveaway directly from here if you are with us in our Discord. You'll be able to join through that link as well. This is the time to be patient, a bit patience. Okay, just let the market to fall. Look at this gap. I explained you why this gap is important. Remember, not that gap. This gap is not important at all. This is the gap you should be very careful. It has the power to stop the market sending it lower. But I really don't think so it is going to fall, because if it really would love to fall from here, it would simply make the water block and then keep falling. As it didn't happen, I think it's not going to fall. Instead of that, it's going to go higher. But first, I need to see this market to fall, take this low, trade this gap. IOFED. Okay. So from here, like this way. 34 people have joined. Okay, 11 minutes left. Please click on that icon. Remember, this is a pyramiding trade. I just need to, without touching this gap, if it go higher, it will never go higher. It will come back. It has to come back. Above this gap need to be traded. Now it can go through this gap to fall for this gap, it is acceptable. But without touching this gap, it has 0% possibility to keep going higher. Something like that. You can study this if you want. But this is something like it has to trade that line, that gap. That is the gap just above the unfilled gap. Otherwise, anytime it will go higher, there will always be a, like an intention to come back again. Still now it didn't tap to this gap, it has to tap to that gap. Come on, market. I told everyone that you have to be traded. Now, if you don't be traded, then why? What other people will think? This guy know nothing about price actions. I told them that you need to be traded. Now, why you are not trading that gap? You should trade that gap. Without trading this gap, you can't go higher. Okay, on a reject from there, no worries. I'll be able to add more with this gap. That is also cool. But let me see if it can trade this gap. Without trading this gap, if it go higher, I'm not allowed to take any kind of pyramiding trade. Okay, so it has to trade this gap at first. Then if it close above this, I will be able to add more over here by trailing my stop loss to the top. Come on, the reaction should send the market to this gap. That is the most logical level need to be traded. However, there is a very small thing you also keep that in your mind. You have to look at this chart as well, because if this chart, which didn't happen, I believe so. Let me see. Okay, it also didn't trade this gap. For example, if it has traded this gap for NQ, for MNQ, it is not been traded. It is also acceptable. However, it has tapped to this gap finally here. Look at this. It tapped here finally. Now I want to see it to go higher. Now the job is done. Good. Where should it go? Look at this clean highs over here. They're so clean, very clean. I don't want to see this type of clean things. So what I would love to do, I want to take a partial around that area. That should be the first partial. Above this clean highs, just above to the top of this gap. That should be the first partial around that area. How many times left? Okay, 6 minutes to go. Please enter to the giveaway. Click on that link on the main room. Where is the main room? Main room, okay. So if you come to the main room, this is the giveaway. Just click on that giveaway and click on that icon. To the bottom of this screen, there is a red icon. See here? Just click on that icon. You will be joined to this giveaway. 5 minutes to go. It's a Apex account. So if you'd love to join the giveaway, you have to click on that link. Let me see where is the 6 on 8 level. So from here to here, this is that 6 on 8 level. It's actually below the. Oh, by the way, I already told you, like you're not re-entry, it's a pyramiding entry. So actually your entry will be here around that area. Your stop loss, you are allowed to put it just below this 6 on 8 level, just below the 6 on 8 level, because your entry will be here somewhere, okay, around that area. Let's see what is happening from 15-minute chart. Okay, look at this 15-minute chart. Now I'm going to remove this weekly gap from my 15-minute chart as well. Minute chart. Okay, perfect. So this is the gap from 15-minute bearish gap that is respecting. No worries, it can be respected. But here I have the bullish gap that market has built already from the 50-minute chart. See this bullish gap over here around this low, this high. I want to see this bullish gap to work as a support and send the market higher, at least until to this gap or very near to the top of this gap to close it. Almost is it's going to close it. Even if it failed to close it, nothing to worry about that. But at least it should come over here by using this 50-minute bullish gap over here. So in a 1 minute chart, I'm seeking for a new entry opportunity from this IOFED. It can maximum trade this unfilled gap 50% here of this Dillington's low. This is the Dillington's low. This is the Dillington's high. 50%, 6 on 8 level. So it can be traded these two line, but I highly appreciate if it failed to touch this 6 on 8 level. Instead of that, come here because stop loss will be so tight. Otherwise, like I can't simply put it below this area. It can be a bearish market. So I highly appreciate if it failed to come to the 6 on 8 level, the 50% is good. It's not a bearish market yet. This is the main part for thinking. It's not a bearish market yet. It's a bullish market. So how long it can be bullish? As long as it's not going to be traded until maybe it is going to trade this gap and then it will be bullish. It doesn't need to do that, but it can be traded this gap and then be bullish again. Keep watching. Anytime it will close above this gap, it's gonna be a re-pyramiding trade from this gap. So you can add more over there. Two minutes to go before the giveaway is done. 2 minutes to go. Okay, please click on that icon. Okay, finally I found 12,195. I thought that maybe I'll be able to get 12,200 today. I need still 5 more people to join our channel. If you really are not my subscriber, you can just push the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. And we are going to see the 12,200 subscriber. The payment for my hard work. So for now, I'm going to remove this one because I want to show you the buy side here. This buy side is too clean. See here, this relatively equal highs are too clean. I need to see these clean highs to be taken before falling and targeting this sell side liquidity. Now, how do you know that this market is not going to take this buy side instead of that coming for this sell side liquidity? This is the most interesting part. Mark the low, sorry, the sell side, mark the buy side, and go for the quadrant level. If this market ever touch this line, forget about this buy side. It's not going to be taken before clearing this sell side liquidity. If it ever touch this line, as long as it's not touching this line, you're good to think that market is going to go higher. It can happen from this upper quadrant. If it happens from the upper quadrant, it means that you are not going to get any opportunity to take the buy. If it happens from the 50%, that is the best area for thinking about a buy. All I don't want to see to touch this deep discounted area, because if it is touched the market, anytime it will go higher, that is a selling opportunity for this sell side liquidity. This is called the deep discounted area. It is not allowed to touch this discounted area. And this is only valid if you have both buy side and sell side liquidity and you are confused what is going to happen, what is going to happen, what is going to happen. In this type of scenario, this is going to happen. I mean, help you a lot. So here, now I want to see this market to go higher and take the buy side liquidity because the market is very near to the buy side and it engineered the liquidity over here. And watch out this 15-minute bullish cap. This candle low, this candle high. A beautiful 15-minute bullish cap. I just want to see what is happening from 5-minute chart. I don't like to use the 5-minute chart, but yeah, the 5-minute bullish cap. Look at this beautiful bullish cap over here. That is a beautiful bullish cap from the 5-minute chart. So let's see if it can hold it and send it higher. Selling, uh-huh. Remember what did I say? If it touch the lower quadrant, which is the deep discounted area, okay, buy is not acceptable at all. No buy is valid. Now still keep looking for the sell. Forget about everything else. Just look for the sell. Anytime market will go a bit higher, take the sell. Because market is now going to fall for the sell side liquidity. Otherwise, no sell is valid. This is just a retracement leg. How far it can fall? Maximum to 618 level. Remember the 618 level here around that area, and the deep premium is here somewhere around that area. So it can maximum fall for the 618 level, not allowed to touch the premium level. Yeah, stop loss will be so tight because here. So for example, it stop you out over here. Don't worry about that. This is the unfilled gap that has been filled 100%. Look for the breaker block, buy again. Best area to look for the breaker block, if it makes any sense to you, brother. I wanna show you from here, okay? Market clear, the liquidity, market structure shift, fair value gap, trade it. Think like this too is the order block, okay? Consecutive order block around that area, consecutive order block. It's not the best to take the entry, but if it is the consecutive order block, market has traded the consecutive order block, then just build this gap that is still unfilled. Market didn't fill this gap 100%, unfilled gap. If I watch this 22 YT model, which is inside that 22 YT model, that is the unfilled gap. So after closing this gap, it can maximum fall for this unfilled gap to close it, but it is not allowed. Why? Because if it is going to close it, market is going to touch the deep discounted. It means that market is going to fall for this sell side liquidity. So it's all about the probability. I'm not going to say that it can't simply tap over here. I'm just saying this is how I read the market. How I'm going to get confidence. No, it's not going to fall. Instead of that, it's going to go for this buy side. Even after seeing this big fall, right? This big fall. Why this fall is happening? This is called the retracement. Taking the liquidity, trading the this gap need to be traded and maximum to this gap. Like if it really would love to come for the 50% or equilibrium, it doesn't need to do that. But if it do that, otherwise this buy side is gonna be the next beautiful target over here. So from there, this buy side liquidity is 51 handle. So if you get entry here, your entry will be here somewhere. Okay, here somewhere. So you're going to get a beautiful run over here. Here, like thinking about the market is one thing, and reading the market with the logic is another thing. So, for example, here the thinking process was good. Price action was not respecting according to my understanding because it was violating the gap or everything. Otherwise, like if it respect the market, like here it is this gap or this gap, they're respecting, right? For example, I'm bearish and I'm interested to take the sell. So I'm seeing this respect from this gap. I'm very happy, but I'm not bearish. So all I'm seeing here, market is building more buy side, buy side, buy side, so that it can go higher again and go for that buy side liquidity later. So anytime it will fall, those people who failed to take the sale at the beginning of this run, here they're going to think, oh, okay, it's retraced, take the sell now from this resistance. See this resistance? So I missed the sell from this resistance over here. See this high, this high, relatively equal high. So I missed the sell from here. No worries, brother. Take the sell from here. This is also a new resistance. Take the sell from there. And what the market is going to do, it's just simply going to breach them out, coming here, and those people who took the sell from there, they're going to move their stop loss over here because this is a new resistance zone. They're going to get stopped out as well. There will be no sellers left. Let me see who is going to be the winner. Okay, congratulations, Livermore. Congratulations, brother, for winning the account. Livermore. Thank you so much, brother. I think it's a good opportunity, brother. Try your luck and be profitable. And I also got like 85 likes. I'm really so happy, guys. I thought that I'll get 100 likes, but unfortunately, I didn't. Hamad, how are you, man? It's been a long day. I don't see your name. I'm cool, man. I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean, I'm from Bangladesh. I heard no electricity there. I mean, electricity sometimes do a. I mean, it's doing a bad thing, to be honest, brother. But I'm happy to see your name, brother. Hamad, how are you, brother? It's been a long. I don't see your name. Wizard question. 1041 is water block. Let me see. 1041, 1041, 1041, 1041, 1041. This one, you're looking it as an water block. Like if I'm bearish, this is the water block. If I'm bearish. that is one of the best order block, to be honest, brother. I mean, immediately it has been validated and was an order block from the most logical level. So, for example, you are bearish and you would love to take a sell, you should look for the sell from this order block. That is the best order block, to be honest, which is aligned with the 1 minute chart as well as 1 minute last gap and most logical level over here around that area. So, yeah, that is one of the best order block, brother. According to my understanding, by the way, does it have to trade through the gap or partially? This one, IOFED, if it just tap here, that is the best case of scenario. But if it went through this gap, it can do that just to target this gap. It can do that. Okay, went through this gap. Here, this gap, I really don't look for how it is going to be respected. It's not important. The important part is when if the market is bullish, it has to trade this gap, which the gap has been created above this gap. If you're asking about that gap, it is only important to be traded. The way it is going to be traded, how many times it is going to be broken, I don't care. All I care, did it trade this gap or not? The minimum thing is it has to trade this gap. And then go higher, fall, whatever you want to do. That is the different case of scenario. But you have to trade this gap if you are bullish. Otherwise, for example, if it didn't trade this gap and it come here, I'm very afraid that it will fall again and trade this gap. It come here, I'm very afraid that it will fall again, then go higher again. So as it is done, the trading is done, I'm not afraid. Anytime I'll get a bullish fair value gap, I'll just simply trail my stop loss to the top. Or if it like inverse this gap, for example, it inverse this gap, I'm going to put my stop loss just below this gap with confident that I'm not going to get a stopped out, something like that. 12,195 subscribers. Just need 5 more subscribers. Let's see if there is anyone want to join us. Alhamdulillah, bro. Good to see you. Thank you so much, brother. Good to see you as well, brother. It's been a long. I don't see your name. I miss you, man. Darkness giveaways used to so fun. Why you stopped? Because my Streamlabs is not working. I don't know why, but my stop loss is not working at all. I mean, sorry, not not my stop loss. It's Streamlabs. Streamlabs is not working. Why it is taking too much time? Come on, it should not take this much time. No worries, man. Jamie. Yeah, sometimes you ask a question that really helps me also to reconsider. I mean, I never saw it as a bearish order block. For example, I was just watching the bull setup or bull everything. So I never noticed this gap. I mean, this candle. So when you asked me, I also got that idea. Oh, okay. So that was the order block as well. I missed this information. So thank you so much, brother, for asking this type of question, man. Tips. We are in the macro time. Would like to see the expansion toward the buy side, in my opinion. Let's see. I think you actually talked this long time ago here somewhere. But as I told you, like I want to see this market to fall here at first, then go higher. Now, to me, obvious is this buy side liquidity. Clean buy side liquidity needs to be taken. I will only think about sell if I see this market touch this area. If it touch this line, I'm now not interested to take the buy anymore. For example, it fall and come here. Anytime it retrace, I'm gonna take a sell from there. This high, this low, 50%, 6 on 8 level, I'm I'm gonna take sell from there for targeting this sell side liquidity. If it touch there, as long as it's not touching it, it can fall for this area. So let me actually remove it. 50%, go for this buy side liquidity. In between the buy side and sell side, 50%. More importantly, look at this low. This low, not that low. Anybody can explain me why not that low? I have already explained this long lot of time. That is the low, not this low, not this low, not this low. This is the low of the dealing range. This is the high of the dealing range. So, excuse me. It can maximum fall until the 6 on 8 level. I really don't appreciate it to fall until the 6 on 8 level because my stop loss is too tight. We can did the damage. So the 50% is more beautiful, which is aligned with this gap, which is the last gap right now. So after trading this line, maybe the market will keep going higher. That is the beautiful thing ever to happen, in my opinion. So it will just come here maximum and then go for this buy side. Okay. So let's see if it happens or not. Very welcome. Last low before liquidity taken. Not like that. This is the dealing range low because last low before the liquidity taken. Last low before the liquidity taken. Did you mean like okay, I'm gonna explain and let me know did you mean that or not because I'm a bit confused about these things. When this low has taken this low over here, so that is the low that has taken some sort of swing low, then give me a bull run, then fall, build another swing low, go higher, fall again, take this swing low. So this swing low, if this candle, this low failed to take that low, then this would be my dealing range low. But after this low has been created, which is the extreme low, okay, of this big run, this is the extreme low. After this low, this market has taken one more time the liquidity, which is here. One more time, it has cleared the liquidity. So this is the dealing range low, dealing range high. Why this one is the high? Because that is the highest high or the, like the high of this, uh, it has cleared the swing high. For example, this swing high, sorry, this swing high has cleared over here. This swing high has cleared over here. This swing high has cleared over here, but this swing high never been cleared. This is the swing high, I mean dealing range high. This is the dealing range low, maximum fall until the 6 on 50%. I don't think so it is going to happen. I mean, if it would happen, that could happen already. But as it didn't happen, I think now this market will go higher. I think so. Did you mean that, Uchuk? Yes, brother, that's one. Okay. So, yeah, thank you so much for. Yeah, the main thing is, did you get the point or not? The way I'm explaining the price, did you get the point? Because if you look for this low over here, that low, now it seems like a small difference between this low and that low, but the whole logic will be different. And when this low is here actually, and you will wanna look for the dealing range, and you will mark this low, and you will always get confused. Why it is not happening? Why it is not happening? Because now these two low is very near to each other. But think like this low is actually here around that area. What would happen in that type of scenario? You would always be confused. Should I look for this low or should I look for that low? That is really so confusing. So I don't think so it will come over here to be honest, because if it really would love to come here by that specific candle, it could tap over here. However, I'm gonna see here actually where the dealing range has been traded. So there to there, yeah, it missed the 50%. That was really unnecessary. It could simply touch it. I don't want to see not even a single body to close below the CE of this gap now. Not even a single body to work it as a reclaimed fair value gap. Not even a single body. One time, two time, see one, two. Not even a single body should close below the CE right now of this gap. One, two. After closing of this gap, two. Okay. Now, not even a single body should close below the C. If it's interested to go higher, it should simply go through this gap. Through this gap. Just with the speed through this gap to look for this buy side liquidity, if it make any sense to you. I have explained this to you guys. It's not something like simply I'm going to now it is in institutional order flow entry deal. I have no problem with that, but I'm just trying to show you trying to remind you something. Long time ago, I have explained not long time ago, 1 or 2 weeks ago, last week I have explained this. How you can use a gap as a reclaimed gap. One, two. Not even a single body should close below the C of this gap. It should now give me the bullishness. See the speed over here? I need that speed. Stop loss. Why should be? Just one tick below this gap. Like below that gap. It's preferable to put it over there, around that area. So like below this low, okay, the candle has built below that low. Just below the like 8 handle risk, okay? If you wanna take a partial, you can simply take a partial, like 32 handle is trading this gap, but this buy side is actually the overall target. I believe it will go for the target for the buy side liquidity, which is here. Unfortunately, that is there, which I just marked it as a partial level. But yeah, I mean, you can simply take some partial over here if you want. It is like now 24 handle, but previously it was 32 handle, something like that. I'm not afraid for this market to fall again. Why? If it really wanted to trade this 50%, that was the only opportunity for the market to trade it. As it failed it here and closed above this reclaimed gap, it has 0% possibility to close below the C right now. Wick could did the damage. So immediately I'm not allowed to put my stop loss below this area because simply, like it come here, trade the 50% of this week, then go higher. It could happen. But as it didn't happen and show me the bullishness closed above this area, I'm gonna add more over here around that area. Remember I told you whenever it will close, that's the area where I should add more by putting my stop loss here, targeting this buy side liquidity, and more importantly, the low over here by adding more over there from this gap, that specific gap over here. Stop loss 2700. Unfortunately, 2700. Adding more. It's not re-entry. Adding more over here. Target is this buy side liquidity. Ah, okay. I think I'm done for today, guys. Just keep watching how it's going to clear that buy side liquidity or something like that. Uh, or does it really fall and make me wrong? I don't think so. I'll be wrong. I think this market will simply go higher and take this buy side liquidity at least over here. And after clearing this buy side liquidity, I highly appreciate to go for this market until here. But if it really fall after clearing this buy side liquidity, that is also possible. No, no shame to accept that. Yeah, it can fall as well. If you want to fall, then that's a bad luck. After clearing the buy side liquidity, not bad luck. I mean, you will be already profitable, right? I want to show you something. For some of you, it's not important. Some of you, okay? But watch it very carefully, okay? Watch it. Buy side liquidity here, right? Below the buy side liquidity. You can add it with the volume imbalance if you want, but I want to see it from week to week. I want to see one body, at least one body to close above this line. What does it mean? Add more, add more. Okay, actually, it didn't give you the opportunity. So that's the real, like, keep it here, okay? That's the real boom. Like this entry, 30 handle from here. You are not going to re-enter over here. You are going to add over there, not going to re-entry. Add here, not re-entry. Like here, not re-entry. So this is your entry from that area. So that is the entry you are going to hold. This is the real entry you are going to hold. How long? Until this low. By adding more, taking partial, adding more, taking partial, adding more, taking partial. How you are going to add? First adding opportunity from here. Institutional order flow entry deal. That is the first opportunity. Add, add from here if the buy side is not taken. If the buy side is taken and without giving you the opportunity, it's like you're just not going to add over there anymore. But if you can add over here, it's going to add. All the target is going to be this area. That is the target area. Okay. Eventually, I believe that this market will go and target here. You are going to add here, add here. So entry, add, taking partial, adding here, adding here, taking partial. Most of the partial should be taken already. One or two micro contracts should be hold until this area because that is not a clean highs or something like that. But if it makes some sense to you guys, and I'll write it down as a boom. I don't care if you wanna write down boom or not, but this is a real good reading price action. I think like that way at least. It was a good price action reading. That sound okay. I have entered from 954 fair value gap. My stop is 1030 low. Now my TP is 3 RR. I'm getting bored, Tito. I think, Story, you got the TP, man. I think you got the TP. I mean 954. If you enter over here 954, right? So from there, you enter from there. So it has already gave you like 139 handle. You should get, I mean, maximum portion of your entry contract should be closed already. One or two micro contract maximum should be hold until that area. And of course, you have to move your stop loss as soon as possible. You'll just keep moving your stop loss. I believe that like this way you should do that. I can be wrong, man, but yeah, I'm now short NQ. I don't prefer the shorting as long as it's not coming here. I don't prefer shorting. Okay, I can be wrong again, guys. If any of you would love to take the short, please go for it. I don't prefer short as long as it's not coming over here. After coming here, you can try some short. I really don't know. I would love to see this buy side liquidity to be taken, and finally that buy side liquidity is gonna be my extreme target for today. Even if it failed to take this one, I don't care. But this liquidity, I really interested to see to be taken. But yeah, I can be wrong, and market can start to fall, guys. So if you would love to take the sell, please go for it, man. Don't you? Boom. Thank you so much, man, for writing boom. No, I went out for 2.5 RR. That is also awesome, brother. That is also awesome. Ah, man. Why he distracted around 12,195. Might be next time. 68 people are watching, 84 likes. Not bad. Okay. Before I close my stream, I wanna get some rating from you guys. If you wanna rate the reading price action, how much do you wanna give me out of 10? 68 people who are watching. Okay, at least 20 people should let me know that. At least 20 people should let me know that. How much you are going to give me out of 10, man? I struggle a bit here. That one I was not struggling at all over here because it was on perception that it will close it. Maybe it will close it. I don't care. But whole day I was bullish. If you guys remember. So when this setup happened, that is the best area to take the buy. Stop loss was a bit tight, so I don't care about that. So anytime it will give me the opportunity, I'll keep looking for the buying opportunity. And whenever I'll enter one time, I'm just gonna take the partial adding more, take the partial adding more. Every single level is very specific. It can maximum trade. Okay. Anytime it will close out this gap, adding more over there until this line. I really don't want to do that, but it is also valid. Old last gap, old last gap. Respect here, respect there. So for respecting here, some kind of fall is acceptable. And after that, when it will come back again here, it will just go through this, tap to this gap, hit this line. Okay, some of you actually let me rate my reading price action. Let me see. Okay, how much did I get? Tell me your true opinion. Don't no need to write down something bad. Okay, I mean good. Okay, Vin, you wanna give me 9.99 out of 10? Man, that's too much. Great trading today. A little bit stressful though. Yeah, absolutely, man. At the beginning, it was a bit stressful. Ali Jali 100 out of 10. You wanna give me 100? That's cool, man. Uh, okay, trading in the zone. Trading in the zone. 10 plus. Oh man, come on. Plus one more question, please. One time, reclaim gap. Explain. I'll explain it. I'll explain it. Marquis Boom. Thanks for writing Boom, brother. 10:33. Okay, I'll read it. And 11 out of 10. Uchuk, that's too much, man. 10 plus, brother. Really learned a lot from you. I highly appreciate it, brother. If you are really interested to learn, I hope I'm not going to disappoint you. Okay, you will get something. Suziva 9.99 out of 10. This is too much, man. It's the last 2 week, fucking August, and we are green at the end. My thing is in the what was that hole or what hole? I don't remember the. Uh, let me see that. Jackson Hole Symposium. In this week, according to ICT, Monday is the best date for trading. Just the Monday. No other days should be touched. So Monday, I risk myself to think that this market is at least will give me some respect. Not I was not expecting the beautiful respect like Friday, but some respect I was expecting from the market. Because this week where you have the Jackson Hole Symposium, 3 days, okay? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. In this week, Monday is the best day for trading. After Monday, this market always violate the rules. Okay, every kind of rules is going to be violated. So you will say that, oh, ICT concept is doomed. Nothing works in this market. That happens in the last week of August, and more importantly, Jackson Hole Symposium. Last year, if you have any way to watch the market last year around the Jackson Hole Symposium last week of the August, just watch the market. What happened over there? Every single year. I remember from 2022. So I don't remember before the 2022, because before 2022 I didn't watch the market according to ICT concept. So I remember from 2022, August last week is disaster, absolutely disaster. But so far we have done a good job here. I think we are going to be green at the end of today. We're going to get a huge profit over here. Like how many trade I framed? One, two, three, four, five, six. Like lot of trade, right? One losing trade, one break even. I will say this is also a losing trade because it took me just by tick because of my stop loss. You will never believe that I would move my stop loss below this breakaway gap. You will never believe. I know that, but still use it as a losing trade. But this one trade is more than enough for being profitable. All the losses is two losses is going to be mitigated by 146 handle. Of course, I'm gonna add more here. Of course, I'm gonna add more over there. Of course, I'm gonna add more over here if it provide me the opportunity here. Of course, I would love to do that. But yeah, that's gonna be mitigated. Okay. However, Uchuk, 1033, right? I think here. Just a second. I'm a bit sick actually. I'm sorry. Now, first of all, why this gap is important, let me tell you that. Okay, so this reclaimed gap is possible from every single area, every single fair value gap. This is possible. First, you have to understand why this gap is important. Now, the reclaimed gap can be used here. The reclaimed gap can be used here around that area. That is also possible to use as a reclaimed gap. For example, here, this gap you are interested to work it as a support. So you will allow the market to close below this gap, violate this gap one time. Okay, let me actually remove all. Let me remove everything and let me start from here. First, ask yourself why this gap is important. That is the first question you are going to ask yourself. Why this gap is important? Market structure shift, fair value gap. So that is why this gap is important. How long this gap is going to be important? As long as this market is not going to clear the origin low. This is the origin low. It can't take this low. So as long as it's not taken, this gap is important to you. Okay. I already got a gap that is important to me. Now, first thing, when it tap to this gap and violate this gap one time, this is the first time market has violated this gap. Good. One time, no problem. Come back again. Did it close above this gap and then violate? No. Come back again here. Did it violate this gap? Like closed above this gap? No. Then fall? No. Then closed above this gap again. Second time, okay? Closed below. Violate this gap for the second time. This is the second time. First time, violation here, right? It should tap to this gap, keep going higher. That is the way we learned the gap to be used. That it will tap here and then it will keep going higher. That is the way we learned a gap to be used. What happened here? Violated the gap. Okay, one time, no problem. Closed above this gap. What should this market do? Tap to this gap and keep going higher. Did it do that? No. Violated one more time. Two times. It has been violated. This time, not even a single body should close below this C. So if this is not guaranteed, but you should start to think like that way. Buy from this gap, putting your stop loss below this low because we can did the damage, and you should expect market can come until here. There is nothing wrong. Okay, for example, until here, but body is going to close above the CE of this gap, and then it should keep going higher. So if you get the opportunity here, that's gonna be valid trade for you by using this gap. First job, why this gap is important to you. First, you have to understand that fact, small fact. When you will understand this gap is important because of this 22 buy model, After clearing all the sell side liquidity, the sell side liquidity, every single liquidity has been cleared, then gave you the market structure shift over here, then build this bullish fair value gap. As long as the origin low is not taken, this gap is important to you. Okay, no problem. So you took the buy over here from the 22 buy model, you took the buy here, and maybe your stop loss was here. So you got stopped out on that area. Okay, so just for the sake of this conversion, you got stopped out over here. Okay, no problem. Tape here. I'm seeing, can it take this low? If it is this low is taken, I know that I will have no other opportunity to take entry. So come back here, then started fall again. Same thing, nothing to worry about that. Then closed above this gap. Are you going to take a re-entry over here? No, no re-entry is valid over there. What you are going to wait to see, can it violate this gap one more time? Okay, it has been violated. Now you are ready to take a buy. Whenever it will close above this gap, you're ready to take a buy over here from this gap by believing nobody is going to close below this gap. This is now going to work as a reclaimed gap. Now, this reclaimed gap can be used in a different way. How? By taking a sell. So for taking a sell, how you're going to use it? Like it came this bullish gap, right? It fall here. So this is the now the inverse gap. So now you are looking for sell. Think like you are bearish. Okay, so it finally came to this gap. Okay, our target actually been hit. It came here. The target has been hit. So think like that. Okay, you are now bearish. Okay, you would love to take a sell, not buy. So you wanna see this gap to work as an inverse gap by any chance. Okay, you wanna see this to work as inverse gap. So when this candle closed below this gap, now it is a valid inverse gap. So for example, you take a sell around that area, and then just by any chance you got stopped out here. Just think like that. You got stopped out over there. By anyhow, you got stopped out over here. So actually think like that way. Market closed here. So first time it has been violated. Then go below this gap one more time and then closed above this gap. Two time it has been violated. One time here, two time here. It never happened. But you are allowed to use it as a reclaimed gap if it is an important gap to you. I don't know if it is an important gap or not because I'm bullish. So I really don't want to take sell from this gap anymore. I'm just trying to explain you the same thing. Two time has been violated, and then for this is very just a small difference here. For the reclaimed gap, reclaimed inversion gap, it can happen three times violation. Before closing above the CE, it can happen three times violation. This is just a bit difference between the reclaimed inverse gap and reclaimed gap. Reclaimed inverse gap violation can happen three times maximum. Fourth time never happen. I mean, it should not happen. Okay, like that way. But three times can happen sometimes. Very rare, but it can happen. But reclaimed gap, that means it's a bull gap. I wanna use it as a support. It's a bull gap. I wanna work it as a resistance. Inverse inclaimed gap. I mean, sorry, reclaimed inverse gap. Bull gap. I wanna use it as a support. Reclaimed gap. Okay, it's a reclaimed gap. So come over here now. Why this gap is important? First, ask this thing to you. Why this gap is important to you? So you are watching this market from here, guys. Please don't get confused. Okay, I'm gonna close my stream after just explaining this. He has asked me this question, so I'm just gonna explain this thing how you can use a gap, old gap, as a new entry opportunity. Market structure shift, fair value gap. Tap to this fair value gap. Think like there's the water block, whatever it is, but new 22 IT model inside this 22 IT model. So I'm going to explain it from this 22 IT model, not this gap because the water block is so much confused over here. So this is the reclaimed, sorry, a 22 IT model inside this 22 IT model. This low is the origin low. So you got a 22 IT model and you have seen that market has tapped to this gap. This two gap has been tapped. After tapping to this gap, uh, the lowest down close body close candles are the water block. So for example, this is the water block when the market came to the breakaway. Oh, by the way, this is another important information. Okay, when you ask me something, I just keep forgetting. I mean, sorry, I keep adding things. If this market, there's two gap. This is a very important information. Okay, guys, please don't forget this. I'm not. I won't be here for forever. This is a very important information. Please remind this. If this market failed to trade this breakaway gap, okay, just think like it did never trade this breakaway gap. Instead of that, trade this gap. This is not the order block. This is not the order block. This candle is the order block which has started above the gap, entry gap. This is the order block. So when this candle close, you can say that, oh brother, it actually the consecutive order block. So market tapped to this order block, and maybe later it has tapped to this order, or it didn't actually. No, it's not the order block. Whenever the market came and trade the breakaway gap of 22 buy model or sell model, you don't have that gap here. Entry gap is not valid over there at all. That gap is lost. So you will look for the last down close body close candle that has closed, or as a down close body close candle, and traded this breakaway gap. That's your order block. This is your order block. Now, depending on the candle close, you will look for the consecutive order block, or the most lowest one is the most sensitive one. So I can see this candle has closed above this candle. So these two candle is the consecutive order block. That is the consecutive order block. Yeah, wick did the damage, but bodies respected that order block. Okay, this consecutive order block. Again, the lowest one is the most sensitive one. This is very rare. But I'm sorry, very sensitive one. That means market should respect this candle with a very sensitivity. And opening of this candle is extremely important. Like this candle opening is extremely important. Just look at the reaction from the opening, not the weak opening. That is the beautiful area to work as an order block. But according to the logic, this two candle is the consecutive order block of this setup. After trading the order block, the first gap, you will look for an unfilled gap. You don't want to see this gap to be filled 100%. If this market is extremely bullish, then the market should not close this gap 100%. If it close it 100%, like by the next five candle, you will keep waiting for this unfilled gap. Keep waiting for that. Now, you can see that this gap never been filled, and market actually leave that gap, gap open, and when go higher above this gap, the first gap, above this gap, the first gap, I call it like institutional order flow entry drill. It means that it has to touch this gap. If it really would love to go higher, it is nearly impossible for market to go higher without tapping to this gap. It's not something like it will tap to this gap and then go higher. It can't close below the C. It can't violate this gap. There is nothing about that. It's about it has to trade this gap, which has created above this unfilled gap. It has to trade this gap. Then you are allowed to keep going higher. As long as you want to go higher, I don't have any problem. But if it doesn't touch this gap, instead of that, keep going higher. It means that this market will fall back again. It will be back. Okay, it will fall. Come, I don't know. Maybe it will come here and then it will fall again to trade this gap. So this gap is now important because I know this gap should be traded. How? I don't care. But it needs to be traded. This is why this gap is important. Okay, so the first question, why the gap is important? Remember, this gap was important because that was the 22 buy model entry fair value gap, or the only gap. Now, this gap is important because market is extremely bullish. Market already left that gap open. It is still open. Above this gap, this is the first gap. Above this gap, it needs to be traded. Okay. So what I am going to do, I'm gonna, like for example, I'm gonna take an entry over there. Now, if the job is already done, for example, market has already cleared the buy side liquidity or not bullish anymore, then of course this doesn't mean anything. But if you think that, oh no, market will go higher one more time, okay, because it left that buy side liquidity, or maybe it has some buy side liquidity here, you're thinking this market will go higher and take that buy side liquidity by any reason, okay? It can be any reason. You are still bullish, you're not bearish. Now, I'm bullish because I'm interested to see this market to come here and take this buy side liquidity at least over here. That's why I'm bullish. However, if I'm still bullish, okay, so what I would love to do, I'm gonna take a buy from this gap. So whenever it will tap to this gap, I'm gonna take the buy over here. I'm gonna put my stop loss below the candle that has built this unfilled gap. So this is the candle that has built the unfilled gap, just below that gap, just one tick below this gap or something like that. Because if this market would love to build the breaker block, it can close below this unfilled gap and then build the breaker block, tap to this breaker block to go for this buy side liquidity. But I don't want to take that risk. Market doesn't need to build the breaker block. That is very rare. The way I look for the breaker block, it's very rare. Like Suzy one told me, it's very rare, brother. So it's really so rare. So it doesn't need to do that. All I need to see this gap to be traded. So my stop loss should be here. Please don't focus on the stop loss or the how many handles I'm taking this. Don't focus over here. Sometimes you'll see a very small stop loss, like here to here it will be like 20 handle, and your target will be 80 handle, 90 handle, something like that. So think like that. You took the buy, and buy in here you put the stop loss over here, just because you think that, oh, okay, it's a huge stop loss. I'm not interested to do that. So I'm gonna take the here. Okay. So something like that. You are still bullish. And now you got stopped out here at the first time. Okay, no problem. First, I have decided why this gap is important to me. That is why, all the explanation. This is why this gap is important. Now I took the buy here. I got stopped out over here. No problem. What should it do? It should not violate this gap. It should work as a support and go higher. What happened? It violated this gap one time. It's a bull gap. I'm bullish. Okay, no problem. Then it came here and closed above this gap. You're not going to take re-entry from this gap. You're not going to take the re-entry from this gap because if the gap is violated two times, then I'm interested to look for the buy. For the next time, it will close above this gap. Whenever it will close above this gap, I'm interested to take a buy from this gap here, and I wanna hold the trade as long as it will go higher. Okay, not even a single body is going to close below the C. So it's not going to work three times broken this gap, not three times, two times. If I want to work it as an inverse gap, sometimes three times is possible. Okay. I'm not going to argue because I saw a lot of time three times happens actually. Three times violation happens. Fourth time it actually works. But if I would love to use it as an inverse gap, I mean sorry, as a reclaimed gap, two times is good. Like one time here, right? Then closed above. Second time is enough already. Done. It has 0% possibility after closing out this gap to violate this gap C. Now, both of these gap here and here didn't give me the entry opportunity, unfortunately. None of the here or maybe there, if you guys remember. It also didn't give me the entry. So just for a bit, I will be able to miss the trade from this reclaimed gap. But yeah, that is also the part of this game. Like sometimes you'll get the entry, sometimes you're not going to get the entry. If I can give you an hindsight example, that would be awesome. Man, I hate the hindsight, to be honest. So, guys, I was bullish today, extremely bullish, and I show you all the price action over here, and finally how the market will work over here. Oh, by the way, Uchuk, did you get your? Is that clear, brother? Anything I explained over here, it's my own observation. Don't ask me where ICT has explained them because I won't be able to share this information with you, or I won't be able to give you the exact location where ICT talked about that. This is just my own observation. Okay, ICT told that just learn the concept and to make it your concept. So I'm trying to make it my concept so that I can re-enter again and again. Okay, something like that. 10 plus, brother. Really learned a lot from you. Thank you so much. Suzivan 9.99. I think I read your comment. It is week August and we are green at the end. That's cool, man. Because of that, I gave 100. Thank you so much, Alizali, for that 100 ratings out of 10. That was a huge ratings, man. I gave you 19.99 because I didn't find anybody on YouTube that spent so much time to answer their subscribers' question. When I started learning ICT concepts at the beginning in 2022, 2019, when I first learned about the ICT, I thought it's an scam. Okay, he's just a bullshit guy. But in 2022, when I first started to believe that this concept is really good and I will be able to make money from this concept, I was watching some people on YouTube, on X, no ICT doesn't reply. So I have to find out someone who was explaining ICT concepts. I had a lot of question. Why this gap? Why? How can I use this gap? Why this gap is important? Why this is gonna be the breakaway gap? Why this is the 22 buy model, not the sell model? Like a lot of question I had in my mind. So I keep asking the question to their live streaming, in their videos, like everywhere. I keep asking. I gave the mail. Lot of time I spent just for asking the question, why is that? Why is that? Nobody never replied me. Okay, this is so shame. Nobody replied me. Okay, sometimes I got the reply on the YouTube comment. The comment when I continue the conversation, they didn't reply ever again. So something like that. It was never been confused. So it was like day and night I keep asking the question to me, how can I improve myself? Then I started to pick a small concept and I started to observe them again and again from the live market. I never do the back test. Maybe 1 or 2 days I did the back test, otherwise I never do the back test. I just keep watching them in live market. And then it takes long time for me to understand these concepts. Long time, nearly 17 to 2 years. Okay, 17 months, 18 months. It takes like long time to understand a simple logic. Like you asked me this question, right? I don't remember how many times I have spent for this time, these things. Okay. I keep spending time over here. Sometimes when I'm doing a lot of things, I don't explain you. I keep observing them. A lot of things, I just keep observing them. And then some of them I forget. Okay. I forget to, like it happens a lot. And after a long period of time, I remember, oh man, I was observing that. I forgot that. What was the result? I forgot everything. Sister, registered. But this is really so bad. Okay. When you are not getting some reply and you are eagerly waiting to learn the concept, and you know that if someone just give you a simple answer, a lot of confusion will be cleared and nobody is going to reply you. I'm asking you, okay, okay, Uchuk, you asked me this question, no problem, brother, join my course. I got a lot of reply like this: join my course, join my mentorship, you will be the guru. Okay, ICT concepts guru. I never spent any money except ICT's course. Actually, I never spent, so this is all free. You can say like this is all free. But when they ask me to join their mentorship, I was just saying myself, oh man, I'm struggling to learn these concepts. And you already know this concept, so you can make a lot of money just by trading. So why you are asking my money, my small money? Why you are asking for that? Because you know these concepts, you know how to make the money from trading. It's a free money. And then why you asking me, man? Help me a bit for free. And like the normal reply is, my time has some value, so I'm asking money because I'm going to spend some time for you. That's maybe logical, I don't know. Still I'm confused why people ask money if they can make like billion of the dollar from trading, because they know everything. So why they ask money for the mentorship? I really don't get this point. However, so that was the area where I decided, okay, let's start the YouTube channel. If one body, just one guy, two guy, 10 guy really are interested to learn and they ask me some question, I'll try to reply them. That's why I always try not to skip your question. Okay, sometimes I skip some question because they are so like rude question. Like sometimes I skip some question intentionally, but otherwise I always try to reply you guys so that you don't face the same problem I have faced in my life at the beginning of this ICT concepts. I'm not saying that I'm a guru. I'm not saying that I know ICT concepts. I'm just saying I just would love to share my knowledge with you. The knowledge I have, the understanding I have, I'd love to share that with you. It doesn't mean that I'm a guru or something like that. If you ask me about the last fair value gap, this is something my lifelong achievement. This is my lifelong achievement. I will say that this this is the only thing. The credit goes to me. I'm not going to give the credit to anyone. Yeah, I learned this is called fair value gap from ICT, but I have find out the best gap I can use in a different way, in a lot of way, like best way. Okay, so something like that. So I never will give any credit for the last gap to anybody. But other than the last gap, everything I will give the credit to ICT. I learned everything from ICT. That's all. Yeah, tier would have been hit if I didn't close. Story, never get upset, man. You already got 2.35, or I guess, right? It's more than awesome, brother. So you already make a lot of profit, brother. Rest of the week, don't touch the market. It's a request, brother. TTV Beauty, thanks for the penguin, Uchuk. I love the penguin, man. Thank you, brother. No problem. Yes, brother. 100%. Thank you so much. Kitty game. That's good, bro. Hey, Sachin. Why you just say, hey, sir? Bro, I'll give you 80%. You are the person we really trade like tape reading, and that's how it's good. Okay, KD, that's a huge compliment. Thank you so much, brother. I highly appreciate it. Never ever think about the sell. Sell is only valid if you see from 15-minute chart, it has built up close body close candle and an engulfing candle. For example, this is the up close body close candle. Another candle has closed below this candle. Then and only then think about the sell. Otherwise, don't think about the sell. If you don't think about the sell, you will be survived. If you think about the sell, you are going to be doomed. Buy is only valid if it clears some sort of swing low and then started to go higher. Then and only then the buy is valid. Otherwise, the buy is also not valid. I have a small green day, but it was a stressful day for me. I had a huge loss at the short, but now I have mitigated the loss and made a very small profit on top of it. I highly appreciate if you don't touch the market today anymore, Sujivan. I mean, maximum run has already been done. So I highly appreciate if you don't touch the market anymore, brother. I hate back test, brother. I love the forward test, absolutely. Jamie, you are amazing teaching ICT. Okay, uh, in front of you guys, I'm nothing. You guys know more than me, but the problem is you guys don't believe that you know more than me or more than some so-called YouTuber or so-called guru like me. You are better than us, but you just don't believe it. That's the problem, man. Just if you believe it, that is going to work, it will start to work, man. Just you have to believe it, nothing else. 9:30 to 10 a.m. dealing range low has been taken and far. And if we are going to stay bullish, we should not take that low. That should be the low of the day. I also think like that way. I mean, I think this low is the protected low, in my opinion. That is the protected low. So I still believe this market will go for this buy side. I'm not saying it is going to happen, but I still believe that market is going to go for this, at least for this buy side liquidity. That is, they're very clean. Okay, they're really so clean. I really would love to see this market to go for this buy side liquidity. Now, even if it failed to come and take this buy side liquidity, which is over here, relatively equal highs, that is my extreme target for today. But this buy side liquidity is really so clean to me. I highly appreciate if the market go higher and take this buy side liquidity. But all the thing is here, this gap. Just be very careful about this gap. Just be very careful about this gap. It can destroy you. I'm looking today open, bro, because that is good draw to look at buy. Looking at current condition, market is give. Today open, you mean like 12 a.m. open? If you mean like that 12 a.m. open, I actually look for that in a very specific time, not like every time. Okay, so midnight open is actually a good idea to target, but very specific time, very specific logic is there. I just don't want to start that things right now. But yeah, I look for them, but not every day. Yes, the last fair value gap, even though it's technically not the last fair value gap, first, yeah, I mean, I just mark it as a example. Okay, it's not the last gap. Last gap is over here. That is the best last gap over here that you can use in a different way. I mean, the gap is holding some liquidity, is the real last gap. Okay, the gap that is holding some liquidity. You will be able to use this gap. Like on Friday, remember I gave you the live example of the last gap on Friday? What was that? Yeah. Mhm. This is called the true last fair value gap until the buy side liquidity. Until the buy side, the true last gap. And this area, oh man, that is awesome. Stop loss just below this low. Target is this buy side liquidity. And after that, if you want to hold it as long as you want to hold it, you can hold it. But this is called the true last gap. I mean, that was just I marked it as a just to call it like a gap, nothing else, man. You know. So you think price should come back down to last fair value gap before continue? No, of course not. It should not fall. It should go higher. It can give me some. I mean, this low has taken already over here. So it has already done the liquidity taken job, but as it is the lunch hour, I think it will fall one more time, take this low, trade maybe the 50% of this dealing range, that dealing range 50% 6 on 8 level, then it will target this buy side liquidity. I really would love to see the buy run only. No sell is valid to me. I'm not interested to see the fall at all. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for being over here. I think I'm done for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Oh man, 12,200. Seriously? Oh, that was awesome. 12,200. I didn't expect that I'm going to get that 200 by today. Unexpected. To be honest, that was unexpected. Thank you so much. Okay, those 5 people, all of them who have subscribed to our channel, I highly appreciate you, man. I love you guys. Thanks for subscribing and make it 12,200, brother. I already got 88 likes. That is a huge day for me. Huge day, man. Bro, I sit in 2025-26. We talk about the last parable gap after liquidity sweep also. Bro, not like you didn't find it, but just saying you're kind of good because I'm watching you for long now. Okay, ICT also talking about that. I didn't know that. I mean, If you guys watch my old live streaming from the beginning of my live streaming, I'm talking about that last gap. Exactly from beginning, okay? October 1st, 2023, if I'm not mistaken. That is the first day where I started my live streaming journey on YouTube. October 1st, 2023. You can watch from live from there from the very beginning. I'm explaining the last parallel gap. Yeah, in time I modified that. I learned new things. I tried to modify that. But I'm talking about that last gap from that area. If ICT is also explaining that, there is nothing to worry about that because maybe that gap I watch it in a different way. Maybe ICT has the idea to explain it later. Okay, in 2025, 2026, he has the intention to explain it in this time because it was helpful for us to watch it after learning some specific things. So I'm not saying that, uh, like, how to say that, man. There is no gurge. Okay, so simply I'm just saying that gap I didn't learn from anyone. The way use that gap because in this market we have 1000 gap. Which one I'm going to use and which one I'm going to give the highest priority. So yeah, like I'm just saying I didn't learn it from anyone. Just that, okay? So that's all, brother. Good night, brother. Thank you, brother. Have a good rest of the evening. I will see you tomorrow, God willing. Thank you so much, brother. You just mentioned it one or two time only, but I saw you talking about it first. Okay. Thank you so much, man. Yes, I've been listening to you mentioning last farewell gap since 2024 when I started to watch your stream. Thank you so much, Sudivan, for confirming. Either way, my live stream is all over there. I never delete anything. You guys can just go and check. Okay. Last farewell gap, I'm calling it or watching it, explaining it from 2023. That is the first thing I have started. Maybe now these days, I don't talk about the last gap a lot. Now these days, I don't talk about them a lot, maybe. I don't know. But I think I talk about last gap almost every day. Last gap is one of the most important thing in reading market. So I can't skip the last gap. So I think I keep talking about that every day. However, whatever it is, no complaining, no arguing. I'm just saying, to be honest, I didn't learn it from anyone. I just find out that gap is really so important in any way. But yeah, that is all okay. Thank you so much, guys, for being over here. See you tomorrow. Until then, cheers, guys.